Welcome back, one and all, to Dreamworks, Dungeons and Dragons. I am your Dungeon Master, August Schmidt, and with me, of course, in particular, we have this party yet to be named, but we have Lonnie playing as Nana, Marissa as Hunk, Mason as Moses, Megan as Tulio, Nick as Bob the Tomato, and Hannah as Elizabeth the Dragon. Last we saw the party making your way across the deserts of the Sahara over towards the Nile, fighting off a dangerous creature that is known as an Achillean, and able to successfully rope it down, and as the saying goes, if you love something, set it free, off back into the desert. As you approached Egypt, though,
and August was like, you guys should have kept it.
I tried!
I was like, wow, I've never seen a party get that close with like a really dangerous creature. I'm like, yeah, I would have kept it. But that's also me as like, if I was a player, I'd be like, ooh, high level thing to just keep as a pet.
Sorry, who was the high level creature?
It's true. But, of course, once you made it to Egypt, the city seems to be gone. Careful investigation as far as you've been able to show, it looks as if water itself rose up across the land of Egypt and took it into the Nile itself. But, of course, as you know, the Nile is not technically that deep, and you would have remnants of a broken city of some sort of destruction, magic smiting. It's as if the city has disappeared, heading to the city then of Neten to try to find further information, starting to ask around and shake down people for information or boats.
We are the bad guys.
But unfortunately, a city guard has come across you all, looking, of course, to find a bit of information about who these strange people are. One of them looks and seems to have recognized Moses.
Yep, Moses is the problem.
Moses, you see Azol is his name, is looking at you, and you see the hatred fill his eyes as this Egyptian guard levels sword and commands to attack. And this is where we will enter into, shall we call it, initiative with the gang. I do not believe we have initiative rolled, so we will start that real quick. Let me throw in our guards real quick. Let's roll up our stuff here. So we have.
I will move.
Unfortunately, this is a full collection of guards, so there's about 10 guards here. And we do still have 0. That is the guards and captain.
Is that an search breaker?
No, it's okay. It's just
There's a search protector over here as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's like an outlet part.
Yeah, there's
You
a.
need an outlet?
You need a charger.
I have one.
Here we go.
Yes, there's a white one and there's a black one. You should be able to choose
Average.
between the two.
Let's go ahead. Did anyone get a 20 or higher on their initiative? No one got a 20 or higher?
I haven't rolled.
Oh, okay.
Here's my initiative.
At the top of the main.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
So cute.
It's
I
Does
need
that fit?
Yes. One of the shirts will probably. It's actually shaped for somebody's pregnant. So that would be a
Wild
pregnant
stuff.
shirt.
The highest.
Which one?
It's the one
Okay.
that has like pastel and it's
Hunk
got,
with a
it's got the pattern fabric.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Okay, good. Okay. As long as the t-shirts work, because they were really soft.
Pregnancy shirts are so comfortable.
Moses with
Yeah,
an,
we really
12, correct?
That was what we were excited about. So,
Here
okay.
we go.
We were like, this is so soft.
Like pregnancy shirts are like the most comfortable shirts.
I love that. Oh, yeah, that's so happy.
Nana with an 11.
I love that. I believe
Actually,
it.
stretchy, not so much.
Hey August,
Yes.
do you mind plugging this into one of those?
I would be
Oh, yeah.
more than happy
Thank
to.
you.
Jeans if I need
They probably don't cut in as bad as other clothes, right?
Because they like hit like right up here. Like I'm
Yeah.
so
Okay, these pants?
Why did they go all the way to here? So I don't have lines.
That's so
Nice.
nice.
That's where these pants come.
Yeah.
Because they're all these
I love that.
They're so comfy.
Nope, I was just making sure
very close.
Lonnie
Yes.
was good. So, 13, 11. Bob the tomato with a 9.
We had like a little book on the side.
Here we
And
go.
like, he had like a certain fabric that was supposed to be wicking in certain parts of the baby would
And
grow on you. And then like there was like a
Tulio with a 5.
That's awesome.
It was creative.
He did a good deal,
And Elizabeth with a 5. Oh my gosh.
Wow, I thought I rolled bad. No.
That is. I will now have to roll for the guards and Amanda Captain, and you just don't want them to get higher than 13. Or else that.
Those odds.
That is terrible odds, to be fair. So here we go.
Just watch, they get the over 20.
Yeah, let's just.
I'm a rogue. I have +3 in Dex, and I rolled a 5.
1d20. Here we go. Captain the guard got a natural 1.
We're all square. No.
Are we open just to run away, guys?
We'll get to dips.
But they have our sled.
Do they?
Yeah.
They were around your sled because that's where they first went to say, okay, who's
I
got.
can Misty step into the sled.
The guards only got a 9.
You guys can catch up.
And 9 will give them a synthetic 11.
There's no hold actions to hop in.
So,
If I can get
in other
on,
words,
I'm
good
not
news
good.
for us.
Good news for you guys. What could have been a terrible encounter, thankfully, the guards will just start acting after Hunk and Moses.
That's not as bad as it could be.
Hunk, that will begin you, my friend, with.
I'm sorry.
Captain.
Yes.
What do we do for the ADD girl in the back?
You're
Sorry.
good.
If I can get
Basically,
on with
you guys came to the city of Neten trying to figure out what happened to Egypt, but after investigating and talking to a couple people, city guards have occurred looking for you guys. One of them seems to have noticed Moses, and so has ordered them to take you on. And so guards are pulling out swords and spears to attack and kind of capture. They're basically right now they're between you and your guys' sled, which is still all up. You know, your camels are all there. It's not like they attacked the sled or impounding it. They just started with the sled because it's like, well, let's start here and work our way out, and that's where everyone kind of convened. There's about 10 guards currently around your sled with a guard captain in the middle of them. This is a full squadron.
So the idea being if we can get to our sled, we can run away.
Yes.
Or we
Okay.
could
Guard
scatter.
captain is the one that recognized Moses, right?
Yeah, what are we doing? Team meeting, 10 seconds, go.
I want our sled back.
I really want
It's
to
such a
we
good
thing.
reinforced it with the worm scales.
I'm saying if we get someone, 2 of you guys to grab the sled, the rest of us can scatter.
And we all meet
all
up
go at the same
up downriver with up north.
Scatter!
I mean,
Scatter! Where's that from?
Yeah,
John.
that's
John Mulaney.
John Mulaney.
Have you seen the new one? So good. Okay, so scatter.
Yeah.
We'll fight them off.
downriver.
Yeah.
So scatter, 2 people go around to the thing.
If at least 2 people on the sled, everyone else scatter. All right.
And Moses, if you can take them with the sled, because they're going to switch you on the sled anyway.
Yeah, they're gonna follow me anyway. So.
Well, if he goes away from the sled, then the sled will be open.
That's true.
But then they have a higher chance of catching me.
Yeah.
Moses might be the priority target right now.
Yeah.
Do we just sacrifice you and then?
Kick Moses in the back of the knee and just book it.
Or
Now play.
you could take the sled with Moses, whoever is the first 2, and then ditch Moses at some point. Take the sled somewhere, because they're going to follow you and give a head start.
It's true.
They're
Well,
like,
we can't get to the sled. They're in the way.
Exactly.
So
Right
how are we
now,
gonna
they
get
are
away?
technically in
If he
front of us.
runs
Do
and we
any
scatter, and then 2 of us
have,
come
like,
back around to
invisibility?
it, we could all
I do
meet
not
up.
have any spells.
You're just gonna have to run fast and shooty.
I have a spell.
I can't shooty.
I have a
Somewhere
spell
else
that I'm
should
gonna
shoot.
use to try to help you, Moses.
You what?
I have a spell that I'm gonna use to try to help you.
Which is?
Specifically only you, because it's a 1-person spell, but.
Okay.
So are you like the size of like an actual tomato?
Yeah.
So pop him on your shoulder.
I was gonna say, hop in my robes.
Just kind of like put them in your mouth.
That's like if you get caught, you can pretend to be a real tomato and then let him get free.
Remember, we have a
Can you roll a deception check to be a real tomato?
we have a contingency plan for that actually.
So you two run. The rest of us will kind of scatter, get back while they're chasing him. Get back on the thing. We'll go. We'll leave. We'll rescue these two, and then we'll be on our way. Okay.
Okay, so
Go.
So who's going for the sled?
That's for sure. With
Any of
Moses
us.
and Bob are
I'm
gonna
taking
go.
off.
We're all gonna kind of scatter, and then which
it's
two of us?
basically don't go for the sled. It sounds like if we all run.
I would say too.
And then
we
a couple
probably
people
should just
grab
be
the sled and we
yeah,
go.
that is so useful.
Well, also it's
Do you
that
want to hang back with me and we'll get the sled?
I just need to know whether I'm supposed to go for the sled or not. Because
Gotcha.
otherwise, I'm gonna take all the bonus action dashes and just like run
Yeah.
away. Like I can get far
Okay.
fast.
Who wants to get it?
You can.
Do you want to get the sled with me? Like,
I-
you want to around? Okay, deal.
That
If I can, I'll
the
try
magic
and
of
get on
D&D.
the
This
sled.
all kind of
Yeah.
happens.
All
But
different
if I
directions,
can't,
right?
Yes, kind
Yes.
of the idea.
So we all scatter, but
Yes.
you two are coming back for the
The
sled to
fastest,
grab it
yes.
and go.
And then we'll
In which case, I will say this:
Or I
as
can
a
try and like roll
group,
a hide nearby.
I would like everyone to start with either athletics or acrobatics. You're either running and climbing up walls.
Here, so if I can just pop Bob into my ropes, would that be like help action or?
That's an object interaction for now, because
I'm
this is
saying like when we have to make a check.
oh for these yes.
Okay, so acrobatics.
I rolled a nat 1.
No! Acrobatics, obviously.
Acrobatics or athletics, because this is the initial. Because it's now a chase kind of encounter. It's that we have to see how fast these guards can just like oh 20.
Nice.
Here we go.
I got 20 last time too.
21 for Nana, Nat 1 for Tulio, 18 for Elizabeth, Nat 20 for Bob the Tomato, Hunk with a not 13, 10, thank you, and Moses with a 9.
That's with a +7 modifier, FYI.
What did you roll?
A 3.
With a +7?
Yeah. So I got a 10.
I thought you were saying your total was a
I rolled 3.
That was only a 7 for the majority of the guards, though,
good.
because they have to do athletics. Because again, they were like, "Haha, we're going to fight them and go." They weren't expecting a group this size to scatter.
They weren't prepared for guerrilla warfare.
Exactly. It's oh, we've got to like work together now.
God, that William.
Do we still have our actions?
Yes, I do have to roll the one last for the guard captain, though. 1d20, and the guard captain does have a +2 to the athletics.
Roll a 6.
That's a 17. But the guard captain is specifically going after Moses, so this will be Moses one-on-one.
What did you roll?
Tulio, you'll get at least one attack off on you because with the nat 1, couple of the guards are going to have a chance to like swipe at you. In which case, let's just make this faster dice roll. Here we go. The guards are going to get their roll off on you using their spears, Megan. They are attacking, and here we go. That was 2 hit. That was a 16 plus 3 for a 19 to hit,
Definitely hit.
which will deal you only 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Okay, I can take that.
It's not terrible. So still have a good amount of health left. And at which point, Tulio, again, you have already started, again, the natural, like, these are action, dashes, movement, bonus action, dodging. Like, this is just a one-time, one of them was able to kind of reach you before.
It's like an opportunity attack.
Basically. You guys have successfully ran. Moses, we are going to go into a slight one-on-one here with the bandit captain. As Moses, you and Bob are running together. The bandit captain's running after you, and you see Azol is looking furious. You will not escape me this time, you false prince.
Can I?
So this is where we're going to use the true initiative. So Moses, you actually get to act first against the captain here.
Well, that.
Okay. I'm going to throw a javelin at him.
Excellent. You grab one of your javelins off your pack. Go ahead and roll.
That's an 11.
An 11 will miss the armor class. You throw the javelin, and the guard is able to catch it on the edge of his sword and fling it off into a wall and continue running after you. Moses, as he runs after you, Bob, you will act next before the bandit captain's turn. Bob, is there anything you would like to try?
I'd like to cast Gift of the Valkyries on Moses.
Ooh.
So he gets plus 10 to his movement speed.
Yes.
And when he hits, he gets an additional d4 of damage.
Wow.
Dude, where have you been hiding this one?
I didn't even know that was a spell.
This is a spell that I have made with Sam, actually, Sam Beaver. This is a fun spell we're trying out. So, yeah.
I was gonna say that's a cool name.
So, Moses, you are now naturally getting faster, meaning on your next turn, you could try just another outspeed of, like, let's just, like, run instead of attacking.
And then can I also give him Bardic Inspiration?
Yeah,
Yes, you can. Bardic Inspiration as well as that.
In that party.
Oh, I think you're right.
Here comes the bandit captain's
The
turn.
moon group, 'cause
He is going
an
to
elf is a
use
fighter,
his
isn't he?
2 scimitar attack. Oh, he can make 3 attacks.
Oh, no, we have
We have
it
her.
yeah.
He is going to attack you twice with his scimitars and once with a dagger. Okay. Here we go, Moses. First attack is going to be a synthetic 20 to hit with that 15 plus 5. That will deal 7 points of piercing damage as he stabs in. The second attack is going to be a 23 to hit. Good lord. Another just 7 points, so 14 piercing damage. Finally, the dagger comes off. That is going to be a 23 to hit, dealing 5 points of damage. As he comes in, you watch this dude jumps and kicks his sandals off of the wall and spinning blades right across your chest. And right before you have a chance to regain balance, takes you by the shoulder and stabs the dagger in. I do this for my country, which you ruined. And twists it just a little bit deeper. As Moses, you take a bit of damage and are starting to look pretty hurt there.
Yep.
Do you have anything to do with the disappearance of Egypt?
Not me.
Not as far as you know.
As far as you know.
Slaves.
Yes.
How dare you free our slaves? Okay, did you hear the sentence? That will bring back to Moses, top of this mini initiative. Moses, you have the chance now. You could just like, hey, let's just run again. You have a Bardic Inspiration, you have an increased speed, so you would be able to take an athletics with advantage now with all of this combined, and as well as a Bardic.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to try the athletics to try and book it. And I'll like bonus action dash with this as well.
Go for it. You bonus action dash.
So make another athletics check.
Correct. This time at advantage though, because Bob is giving you some handy spell work and bardics.
First roll was a 12, second roll was a 14.
A 14, meaning bardic inspiration, D6.
D6, yep. 6.
That is a full synth 20, meaning I'll have to make a check for him, but it's very unlikely. Bob, Moses hunkers down and you feel that gift of the Valkyrie. Moses, you tear off, skidding around the streets, ducking under carts and stalls. The guard captain will make a quick check. He has a +2 to this, so he would need an 18 or higher to even think about getting you. That was a 17. As his hands reaching out, about to grasp the back of your cloak, you duck and weave one last time, leap a wall over, and as you see him, you hear that shouting, "I will find you, Moses! I will make you pay!" And his voice fades in the distance.
Dang.
Go to Bob. It's like, you see what I did? I was a little nervous about coming back here. Yeah.
Excellent. We cut back. Hunk and Elizabeth. You guys successfully went off. Here's the key now. We will need stealth checks from you guys because it's swinging back and just grabbing the cart. Because right now the guards have scattered successfully. You're not having to worry about initiative. It's now just, can we sneak back without being seen by anyone to just grab our cart and go for it.
So it's
Stealth checks.
Oh, no. This party.
Huh?
If it's stealth, maybe I should have been the sled party.
Yeah.
I got an 11.
Two barbarians rolling stealth.
Paladin and a barbarian go to steal a cart. Here we go.
He didn't get hurt doing it yet.
That was a 15 for a guard. As you both
Making sure there's no witnesses
sneak
is also
back.
a valid way of stealth, according
Listen,
to our friend who moves.
you both someone Sam played a Minotaur, so it's like you don't have to be
He was a
stealthy if there's no
barbarian,
witnesses.
and
Okay,
he's
no,
like,
I
I'm
guess
very good at stealth.
Hunk and
but he
Elizabeth,
just not
as
including
you
no witnesses.
double back, you are almost to the cart. You see your sled, camels are still attached, but there are two guards standing on either side of the cart in that very much like, you two stay here in case they double back. So you're not seen, but you aren't able to just jump on and go. You're going to have to do something else before that happens. You want to shoot one? Go for it. Alright, go ahead, roll to attack one of them. Elizabeth, if you
I
want
would
to
be
attack
happy to attack, but can I wait until after she attacks to see how?
see if there's like, yeah, like, do I need to attack both? Do I need to go for one? Here we go.
18 plus 6.
That's a 24. That will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Then I'd be so worried.
Right?
That'd be wild stuff.
Yeah.
Well, those are very low numbers, but that's okay.
Okay.
Still 8.
8 points of damage. As you
And can I
go,
offhand attack?
you're gonna have to. So you can run up and slip out just a quick dagger. Go ahead and roll to hit.
What do I roll for that? 'Cause
That's just a d20 plus your strength or dex. No proficiency.
okay, strength, dex, no proficiency. Strength is 5, so d20 plus 5.
Yep, d20 plus 5.
10 probably don't hit.
A 10 does not hit the armor class. Hunk, you go in, and the bear already, boom, the dude looks so bloody, holding onto his side, just bleeding, swings around, grabs his spear, and is able to catch your dagger, and you both are struggling against each other, trying to stab him, and he's trying to stab you back. It's very close. Elizabeth, you have a chance now. Do you want to go for the one who's like completely untouched, or do you want to take down the one that Hunk just shot?
I got this one! You get that great!
Oh wait, I'll go for the other one.
Running up, I'll allow you to rage, of course. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Plus 2 to all damage when you're raging, plus you have advantage then on any other forms of strength checks.
So I use the great sword.
I'm just not used to that.
So that's 19 to hit.
19 will hit with the great sword.
What do dice?
It's 11.
11 damage, perfectly downs on Elizabeth. You catch the spear, swing down and slice across the chest, and he whips around and falls into the dust.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, your bonus action was going to rage, so you aren't able to offhand attack, but you completely negate this guy. Hunk, that means the other, what's his name? The other guard who you are tussling with will get at least one turn to try to stab you before I'm going to call the fight. It's like, see if he does anything bad, shall we say. The guard is going to use his spear
Have we
against
long
you.
rested since last time?
We have long rested.
Okay, so I should be at full.
Yes. But that was a 7 plus, or a 7 total, 4 plus 3. The guard misses with the attack as he is only able to kind of bat you with the end of the staff. You were able to withstand it. He is going to provoke an opportunity attack if you want to, as he turns and just starts running down the street.
Take it, girl, take it.
So if you want, you can just kind of turn and shoot him.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. Well, fudge nuggets, 9's not gonna do it.
You know, Bayard shatters around the surrounding stone. He's able to slip, duck down an alleyway,
Alright, we
and
gotta go.
disappear out of sight. You both have the cart though. Camels take off, and you all travel northward downriver to meet back up with the party.
Okay.
Elizabeth and Hunk, you are the first to arrive at this kind of spot out of town. It is only 2 to 3 miles, right? It's nothing crazy. But you are in this kind of open area where just a few hundred meters down, you're starting to see the reeds and rushes of the river.
Can we hide our cart in the reeds?
If you want to, the key is, remember, you don't want to be seen in case guards come after you, but you want to make sure your party can find you.
Right, okay.
So that's why I say it's up to you guys. If you want to try to like hunker down and wait, you can,
Could
but
we hide the cart, but would they recognize who we are?
Probably not.
depends.
Probably the ones that we fought.
Mm-hmm.
But
So do we just, here's my thought, do we hide the cart because it's really, really obvious, and then we hang out like in front of the cart, and then we duck away anytime we hear like,
I like it.
All right. Here's what I'll say then. You can make me. We'll call it a stealth check, because it's this way you're
We
planning
did really
for.
good that last time.
You did great last time. That's why we had to kill a dude. No.
We just we put him to 0.
What?
We
No.
help later.
No, I'm gonna start making rolls now. You're forcing me to roll for them.
no, what I
so
should have
still-
done is I should have pushed him into the river.
Stealth.
Put him in front of the cart. Hold on until full stop.
I hope you roll higher than me.
I should have rolled that earlier. That was a nat 20 on that dude's first death save. So immediately, like as you guys run off, he gets up out of the ground. Wait, but you're already gone.
Wow.
At least he's not dead.
He's not dead. It's not
I have to
dead.
be clean.
not
What did you roll for sure?
That was a 16, but a 7 for Hung. You both are waiting. You kind of like bit of reeds and brush against the cart. You know, sit your camels down. What I will ask then is for the rest of the party, can you make me perception checks to find your friends?
This one included?
Yes, most.
They gotta like.
I do not suck at perception today. That's a 22.
Nana, you find them immediately. Nana, it's not like, where did my friend found them? Like, you walk out of the city
But
and
can I
just
sneak up
stop the
behind
cart.
them?
It's
Actually,
like the little kids playing
Yeah.
and seek and they think they're really sneaky. and I was
Then
like,
for
I
Moses,
see
they're
your
like
face.
right in front of him, and he's there.
yeah,
I rolled a 25.
the rest of the party, you all start hunkering down.
Okay, I sneak up behind them and
Tulio?
What
Oh yeah, Tulio. Megan, can you make me a perception check to find your friends?
I want to see if you see us.
See if you see.
And then we get on the road because we
And then, you know, it goes.
Oh, this is good. That's a 22.
Yay!
Ooh,
Okay, so here we are all gathered. Let's get the
All
heck
of
out.
you are able to gather and make your way out
Make your way.
of Natan.
Downtown.
We survived and we didn't even have to fight anybody. Good job, guys. I mean, not as a whole. There was a brief encounter.
As you are all here in the brush, night is starting to fall. We are starting to see
Let's travel the dark mails.
the violet amber hues clashing against the Nile, the soft lapping.
Mayo, like mayonnaise.
With the highest perception being Bob.
You know, it sounds good.
As the party,
Mayo tastes like which
we just need bacon and lettuce.
She wants to eat Bob.
We're gonna eat you. You know in those like, hey, what if we were all crash landed on an island? Who would we eat first, Bob? You know, the one tomato.
Although, to be fair, he would not really give us many nutrients. Like, it would be better to eat someone else.
I don't know. Maybe he's a.
Fair.
Listen, this is a tomato that canonically every night heals all his hit points. So you just cut a little bit and just keep eating every day.
Don't give them ideas.
I have to be completely honest, that's not even mine. I saw that on a forum online where someone's like, technically you could eat your player characters because we heal every night. I'm like, that's not how this works.
Wow.
Like, if you really want to metagame that hard,
That's
technically yes,
dark.
but
But yeah, it's very dark.
here we go.
Yeah, that's holding you up on things like you didn't eat today. So.
So, some of those hit points gotta go somewhere.
DM for being a
Forcing people to cannibal.
You know what? I actually wouldn't necessarily.
We're gonna reclaim that conversation.
Anyways.
Sorry.
Bob the Tomato, as your party has gathered, Moses doesn't see the party because you spot something else. Farther downriver on the Nile, there is some large speck that seems to be growing in size.
The city on the river, and I'll point it out to Moses.
Moses, you stop looking for the party who's right in front of you. As you look, and indeed all of you can kind of look, there is something far downriver that seems to be slightly growing.
I'm gonna just start heading down that way.
Start heading
Are
down.
we gonna head in and everything?
We might
Yeah,
I
no,
don't see you guys. I'm just
But he does.
soldiering on.
He told you.
Moses just making his way
I
down
feel like
now.
Bob like pulls your ear and is like, bro.
Oh, there you guys are.
Indeed, you as the party can hop on the
He
camping
likes the
sled.
trap. Let's go look it up. Let's get closer.
As night grows ever darker, moving your way downriver across the Nile, hours pass and you start seeing that the speck on the Nile has grown considerably. Moses, you start seeing that this speck is much larger than any ship you've ever sailed on or seen. As you approach, the towering visage of grand pyramids floating along the Nile becomes ever clearer in your eyes as you have found Egypt, the floating city.
Ooh.
And I will send a map out.
Cool.
Here we go.
Love maps.
Let's go ahead and save that. I will send it to the Discord group chat for everyone
Oh yes, I should have done this one.
under the Mountain Campaing.
Yep,
As you see, this
Hey-o.
city is rather large. Indeed, it really doesn't leave much to the sides of the Nile, but there is still a good maybe half a mile or so of Nile on either side.
May I ask, did you make this?
Yes, I did.
August!
Yes, I did.
So cool!
The city, you can tell, has many major pyramids, the largest of them being 3 centered around the city in that upside down triangle area, with a couple smaller ones still gold capped and many others smaller to the sides. The 2 large sphinx heads of the pharaohs Seti and Ramses seem to now be a grand gate entrance to the city. Seti being Ramses and Moses' father, or Moses' adopted father.
I think she was thinking of Seth the God and God
Yeah,
the
I was
I saw the look on your face and I was like,
I'm so glad that you understood why I was worried.
Inside the city, what you can all see now that you're within this quarter-mile distance, the city has an ethereal glow where the sand and rock meets the river. And all of you, after a moment, realize it is because they don't meet. There is almost a 2-foot gap just before rock touches the water, where the city itself is almost floating atop it. There are a few ships that are sailing into this grand gate, even at this late at night, that are sailing in, and you see between the Sphinx statues of the pharaohs, a grand mesh gate has started rising. Very, if you know Avatar: The Last Airbender, you know, the gates of Ozai style, where keeping out so no maybe errant ships or wildlife can just float in. But the city itself does seem to be in that ever-present awakened state. Fires and braziers burn across different temples and pyramids. There is that ever chorus sound of city life even at night, where people go out and trade in the cool of night times to not be burned harshly by the sun. What I would ask then is the party, what would you do when you see this?
I'd want to try to figure out when to get across so we can actually go see it.
And then there's maybe a non-suspicious switch. Actually,
Yeah.
does it look at all? Does it look tangible?
Tangible is a good word. It seems completely tangible and corporeal.
So it doesn't look like a ghost city, I guess.
Not so much ghosty. You wonder if, though, the fact that it is floating atop the Nile might be some of the cause of this rumor.
Is it like, okay, I might have missed this one detail. Is it the same size as it was when it was on the land, or is it much smaller?
It seems a little condensed. Like there were, you think there must have
So
been
it's
more
more
pyramids, but it
crowded.
seems like smushed.
So it's like they took it, or is it
Compressed.
Just condensed.
Whereas normal Egypt might have had grander like highways, pathways, farmland.
And it
This
just
is very
looks smaller
condensed.
than, like, it looks like you'll be able to go and like walk around and be a normal sized person.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't seem to be tiny. It just seems to be a big old city.
Alright.
Do they not have like ferries to the land or something to get across the river?
Make me an investigation check.
Great investigation. Oh, but that's a natural 20.
Oh, nice,
That's what I
Megan.
like to hear.
That's amazing.
Was lucky.
Tulio, you watch some of these last ships that sail in. While very much the ships that have just entered in before the gate rose out of the water seems to be more warlike. They seem to have guards, captains, some more like military personnel. But you have the distinct feeling of these are the barges. They're using their normal navy, if you could call it that, to just duck in and out of this city. It looks like to grab what they need or ferry people around.
That makes sense.
We probably don't want Moses to be seen by the milk.
I was gonna say, can
Yeah.
you do a better job of disguising him, or like, again, hide him in the cart under some blankets or something?
Yeah, maybe you guys do a check.
Or you stay and watch the cart, and the rest of us
That's
go see what's up
exactly what I was
with the
gonna
city.
say. You guys do the con.
Might be a good
I'll stay
idea.
with the cart.
All right. How do you guys want to get to Egypt then?
Can I do the talking to the military person?
The military personnel are inside the city now. They're that half mile
Oh.
back inside. That
So
was just
they're not like on the barges.
they were on these barges, but the barges just went into the city and raised a gate. Like that was the last thing Tulio saw was okay. They just went back to the city.
Gotcha. Never mind then. Let's not talk to any military people. That sounds like it was planned.
I like that plan.
Can we figure out like who we need to talk to like get passage?
Doesn't seem like there's anyone out here. I mean, Tulio, you even think you've seen closed off cities. Why would they have any need for the outside world anymore?
Okay, so fully self-sufficient and only travel to like themselves.
Possibly.
Why were we coming to Egypt again?
We're looking for star piece.
Yeah. Because
Or,
it's not
I think
really
you call it star pieces because Tears of the Kingdom. I don't remember what you're actually calling them.
Sword.
Sword pieces.
Yeah. the sort of
Sword
from
piece,
the
star
sky
piece,
when
meteor
the
piece.
blood or
Yeah.
whatever.
something that fell from the heavens.
Is anybody good at disguising themselves?
I think
I
Bob
am.
is. Ooh, we got
Tulio
two
and
people.
Bob have some good disguises.
Should we have like a recon?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm just trying to think like we really want to go try to bombard like go into the city and ask questions. Or
They
do we,
probably
like,
won't like a lot of people, so maybe just Tulio with Bob somewhere on it.
Hang
I
on
know.
1
I'm
second.
wondering like so we need to figure out where we need to go in the city and I'd rather not wander around the city and get caught for not
Yeah.
being part of the city. I'd rather just kind of get
So- Babe, you know how part of my charlatan background lets me forge documents and stuff?
Oh,
Could we forge a document from the observatory that we were at, being like, these are scientists that were sent to like check out and collaborate on the study of this meteor that fell?
I like it. You can give me a deception check, as some of that background will allow you to kind of make a document for this.
that rocks.
I will guidance myself
Okay.
to make that deception check.
What did you learn?
Oh wow, thank you.
That's a good one.
That is
Good,
so
because I
good.
rolled a natural 2.
Excellent. That is going to be
9 plus 6 is 15.
15.
Ooh, the natural 2?
That's
Yeah,
great.
That's
well,
awesome.
because I rolled a plus 7 from expertise, and then guidance and bardic.
That's awesome.
Tim is playing
Right.
Here we go. We are going to then You have a document with a 15. That's pretty good. Might fool some passives, again, as long as they're not looking for anything. The question still remains then, Bob and Tulio, if it's that we want to disguise ourselves, try to head in, how are you going to get across the river?
Wait, you have... Yeah, you have... what's it called? We were talking about your ability earlier.
That's only 30 feet.
Can
How
we take
far
the wheels
across
off
Half
of
a
the
mile.
cart and make it into a barge?
A couple thousand feet.
It's too
Yeah,
heavy, I
it's more
think,
than
to
30
be a
feet.
barge.
Yeah.
Because it's not designed to be a barge, so it doesn't displace water the way that a ship
It
should.
wouldn't be watertight.
Are there like reeds or something that we can build a raft out of?
You want to try to build a raft?
I guess.
As a party, if you want to all try to work together, I will allow a group sleight of hand to build a raft.
I don't know what else we can do. at
I'm
this
gonna
point.
guidance myself as well.
Okay, so
That's another natural 2. Wow.
Oof, yikes.
that's a natural 4.
Ooh, yes.
That's 20.
Ooh,
That's a
good.
13 total for me.
Moses,
Sleight
you're
of
really
hand,
good
you
at
say?
rafts.
It's like, why does this seem really familiar?
This is like easy.
Wow, I can't roll above a 10 today.
On a 6, 5, 8, 7, and 11,
I got
or
50.
13, plus a nat 20, Moses, you build the best framework ever. Like, this is like on its way to becoming a true raft that you could start sailing the Nile with. And everyone else pitches in. It might hold one person plus a tomato, maybe for a one-way trip.
You think you can sail a boat on your way back?
I can steal anything.
Right,
Why didn't we steal it before? Because it wouldn't have fit our cart in it.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff earlier was like
Yeah.
fishing boats.
It's like, as I said, Tulio off.
Tulio and Bob, did you want to go as well? Tulio and Bob, in the middle of the night,
Alright, we're doing this.
push the cart off. I was about to play this song.
Please do, please do.
Here we
The
go.
soundtrack for Prince of Egypt is epic.
Oh,
So good.
Hans Zimmer broke the mold and said, "Let there be." Right? It's
The
great.
gal who voiced Moses' mother,
Oh, this is good.
she learned that song in 12 different languages or something?
Who is it? Eden Regal?
Because she didn't want to.
No, it was a name that I had no idea how to pronounce.
Ofra Haza?
Yeah.
Yeah, solid stuff.
So cool.
Tulio and Bob, you're going to head off, and who wants to make a random d20 roll for me?
Not it.
I've been rolling so bad, it can only...
Please
No,
do
probably
so.
don't.
Just a d20. What could go wrong? You move your way through.
Like I said,
Tulio and
that's
Bob,
messy.
as you pass through, you bump into something before you make it all the way. Big old eyes, company.
Oh.
Both of you roll me initiative against the hippopotamus that is curious as to what you are. Hippopotamus.
Here you go, August.
That's a 15. Oh, that's adorable.
Bounce, gotta bounce. Bob should bounce it on the mic too. I see the
You've got
feedback.
like a.
So maybe with the speakers.
Oh, there we go. There's,
It's, yeah.
There we go.
here we go. 15 for Tulio, 11 for Bob. Excellent. So, got a 13 because hippopotami muscles.
Hippopotamus.
The hippopotamus does not add anything to its dexterity, meaning Tulio, you will be able to act, and then the hippo, and then Bob the tomato. Tulio, you bump in and just see this hippo rise a little bit out of the water and just slowly starts lifting its jaw.
Is it like in front of like we crashed into it and it's now between us and the city? Or?
Yeah. You bumped in and this hippo went, Yeah, enough for a person.
Is there enough space that I could just like misty step to the other side of the raft so that I can get off the effect and try and frighten this hippopotamus?
Over that bridge.
No.
Dang it.
There is not 30 feet of raft here.
Well, 'cause but is it always? It's up to 30 feet. I just read the spell. It's you can teleport up to.
Would you like to use your ability to teleport 2 feet to the left
If it frightens this hippopotamus.
and go
then-
oogly boogly? Yeah.
I guess I could just roll a normal intimidation check, but I wanted to.
It's the fear is that nice.
It's a magical thing.
It's a magical fear, meaning the hippo won't change its mind after a
Got
couple
to
seconds.
roll
Like it's
a
a
wisdom saving throw, and I'm just banking on this hippopotamus not being super wise.
you.
And it's only a bonus action.
All right, you want to do it?
I'ma do it.
Here we go. The hippo adds 1 to its wisdom.
It's gotta
What?
beat a 13.
Gotta be a 13. The hippo. 1d20 plus 1. That was a natural 20.
Alright, I'm then going to hold my action, and if this thing acts in any way aggressive, I'm going to attack it.
Bob and Tulio, as Tulio side shifts, just like appears 2 feet to the left. The hippo looks from like where where Tulio was, where Tulio is now, and continues opening its mouth.
Okay, I'm just gonna hold my dagger ready and get ready to stab it in the eye. Are we getting stamina points?
Not for your group. Because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marshals, 2 of which are barbarians. I am not going to give stamina points until I make sure they work. Your group is unfortunately the exception right now. Here we go. It is going to...
It should be a compliment. He's a great escape.
Yes, very much so. The hippo is going to attack you,
Then I
Tulio.
attack it.
Here we go. It adds 7 to its attack.
Don't like that. I'm
Two.
gonna dice this.
25 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
5. And so 2d8 plus 5 points of piercing. That will be 19 initial points of bludgeoning damage, actually, as it just chomps down on you and the raft.
I only rolled a 2, which means 17 points of damage, but I'm at 17, so I'm down exactly.
Bob.
Do I get my attack off that I was holding?
Yes, you do, because that technically would happen right before this.
I will.
So I guess if you down it in one hit.
It's not gonna happen, but I have Bob, so I'll get
You
sneak
have an
attack
ally,
if I
yeah.
get it.
Just crit.
Oh, well, I got a 24.
Oh, 24 will hit the hippo's armor class, because the hippo is not wearing armor.
Maybe. I don't know. So it'd be there.
13 points of damage.
13 points. This hippo
Sorry, couldn't be.
immediately looks hurt as you slash against the snout, and it roars and bellows in pain. But as it roars, it decides to chomp back down, and that just impressive crushing damage of its jaw. Tulio is exactly down in the now almost capsized raft. Bob, that makes your turn.
Cast sleep on the hippo.
Sleep on the hippo. All right, you're gonna roll for it. Tulio did some damage. It's not enough. Bob, you cast sleep, and the hippo immediately kind of blinks and starts raising its jaw again.
Okay.
Tulio, can you make me a death saving throw?
I can. Oh, I don't think there's a way to do it, so I'm just gonna roll a d20.
Yes.
Yeah, is there a place to roll death saves?
You can roll either. You can do like a self roll, which I still see, or you can like, if we want to, I can pull out real dice and we can roll behind the screen.
You should have seen that.
Yeah. Tulio
Just making sure.
is lying in the water. The hippo has a choice now. Is it going to eat you, or is it going to move on? It's going to roll a.
Please don't eat me.
It might eat you. it might eat you.
No.
Hippos are vicious creatures.
It's a 15. The hippo's smarter than that. The hippo, no longer annoyed, was not hungry, just did not like getting bonked. Bob, you watch the hippo kind of blink, sink below the water.
Okay.
That will make your turn, Bob, before Tulio has to make another death save.
Do I get the idea that the hippo's just leaving?
Hippo's leaving. Yeah, it was just more that like it got bonked really hard, and it's an animal acting in anger that just kind of like bite. And since Tulio's down and it can't see you, it's all right. If it could see you, you'd be in trouble. It'd be.
I don't like that hippo tantrum means just casually killing a person.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Cast
Wait, don't mess
healing word.
Thank you.
Excellent. Here we go though. We have to make a
Minimum.
random check.
Minimum saving. 6 points.
Thank you.
And I'll try and get you some more.
I will
That's not
take
very
them
much.
for now.
I'm rolling a random luck check for a 19. Your raft will be able to carry you the rest of the way.
Oh, good.
As I was about to start saying, make me athletics to just swim, which would have been much worse, let me assure you.
Yes. Tomatoes don't swim.
Tomatoes do not swim.
But they are Bob.
Alright, Hunk's about to take psychic damage. I'm just gonna like straight up kill you. As Tulio, before you sink underwater, you cling to this now very badly shaking raft, and you and Bob float the rest of the way over to Egypt. As you hit, you realize that you'll be able to kind of catch it, shall we say, where you'll be able to float up, and you can try going where the gate is, but that might be more guarded. Around the city, however, is a pretty impressive wall structure that seems to have been built. If you wanted to try to climb the wall, it is a solid, hiccups, 50 feet high of stone. So where are you feeling, guys?
I mean, I could probably do some acrobatics and stealth. And he's a tomato, so he could just like be on my shoulder, right?
Yeah, I think I could do stealth. Acrobatics is questionable.
You could just be in her pocket.
It's like all the time.
If you just want to ride along, it just means you can't really help.
Okay.
Because you would have to be willing to like try.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's the problem right now.
I'll give you a bardic.
I was just saying,
Here we go, barding. Yeah. Here we go to let's start with acrobatics. Scale the wall.
Guidance?
You can guidance yourself.
Oh, that's a 19 before guidance.
Okay.
So,
Right, you do have a bardic.
You don't have to use that right now, but
Yeah.
you're welcome.
It's got like a good 10-minute timer on it.
I'm gonna wait for Bardic, because right now I've got a 21 for
21.
acrobatics.
Go ahead and roll stealth then as you climb up this wall.
Can I guidance again?
You'll have to use a
I
bardic
will use the Bardic then.
because right
I
now
just
these are
wanted to
happening
double
in
check that.
tandem.
Okay.
14 puts you over the passive needed as right before you reach the top, Tulio, 2 Egyptian guards walk by with torches on their routine. You were able to cling, dripping wet with a tomato in your pocket, to the side of Egypt. The guards pass, and you swing yourself up and over onto this wall. Where would you guys like to head? There's about 2 major parts to the city. The area you're at is in kind of going towards this little map. We're looking at, it's a little bit north of that guard tower, where you have the first Sphinx, then a guard tower, and then before you reach the major pyramid, you're kind of in that middle section. So right now you're in the larger portion of this floating city, not the second portion that's connected by, ropes and guardhouses. Where would you guys like to try to go?
Does any building in this city look like it could be some sort of observatory or like center of scientific research that would where would this thing go? Who are the scholars
ahead.
here?
Bob and Tulio, you could make me a, we're calling this an investigation check.
Hey guys, y'all have seen that meme where it shows Miguel and Julio saying, "This is why a rogue and a bard should never go off together." You know what we did? A rogue and a bard.
So, do I have guidance back yet?
You would have guidance back, yes. We're now into the city.
18.
15.
Well,
Oh, but your guidance, yep. 19 and 18. You can see across the city, there is the Grand Palace area. Beyond that, there is a small section, quite literally directly opposite of where you are, just above the pyramid on the eastern shore, or the eastern side, that seems to be some sort of observatorium. Seems to have a bit of telescopic nature to it, but that means you will have to sneak your way through the entire city of Egypt.
we can do that.
I will, before we do that, I'll cast Cure Wounds on Megan.
Thank you so much.
I've been sitting at 6. Yeah, for sure.
13 more.
Excellent.
Here we go. Tulio now looking, I believe, completely healed.
Not quite. I'm up at 19 now.
Oh, 19, yes.
Out of 23, it's pretty good.
Yep. Tulio and Bob, I will need, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds of stealth checks.
If they're rounds, can I like get guidance back for them? Or
Guidance on each one, and you do still have a bardic to use
well, I think
whenever
I
you
used
want.
the bardic getting
Oh,
off
you
the
just used it,
wall.
yes. Yes.
But I'm
So,
not worried.
Here we go.
As long as they don't roll in and out.
7 rounds of stealth checks is wild. Here we go. Round 1. 14. 11. Yikes.
Plus that 12.
12. On the very first round.
Really?
Tulio, this will be a breeze. You step out in the open and immediately hear, "Hey, who are you people? Or who are you?" Because they don't see Bob.
I will whip out the official document and say, "Oh, we are scientists sent from."
You are?
We? Who's with you?
I'll reveal Bob because he's a person.
Yeah, we're scientists. We're sent from another observatory.
I'm trying to remember the name of it. Ochre Observatory?
Good, because I was not going to help you. I'm like, if you want to bluff me, you got to know the name.
Then we can persuasion check to try and get them to escort us to the observatory.
The first check actually is we do have to see if they believe the document. So they're going to make an insight. It's a, we know it's a DC 15. So here we go.
If we like make a deception check, can we give them like disadvantage on it or something?
Not at all.
Okay.
It's the document.
Okay.
If anything, you have automatically failed because why are these a sopping wet dude in the middle of the night
Yeah.
carrying a tomato here? Like, you gotta rely on the document. That is an 11 plus nothing.
Thank goodness for dumb cards in D&D.
They look at the document, look at you guys. You're from the Ochre Observatory.
Yes, sir.
Could you, escort us to the observatory here?
We already filled
We have a shift to go through. Just stick to the main roads next time. It doesn't look safe with whatever's going on back here. Because again, dripping wet, like covered in dirt now, having scaled the wall. Like you guys look weird.
As we walk, would it be possible for us to find something that looks Egyptian for her to wear?
Like steel clothes for Tulio.
Like that are maybe out on like a drying
Yeah, sleight of hand, I guess.
Go ahead. Actually, make an investigation check. It's middle of the night. Let's see if anyone's doing laundry.
or left it out overnight.
18. Tulio, there's a couple of cloaks you could probably whip on that look more, the fiber count seems more Egyptian right now. That more reed-based
It's
clothing.
at least dry.
It's at least dry.
Yeah.
Tulio, you can quickly whip on this cloak. Here we go. We still have then, if you want to keep stealthing, 6 rounds of stealth.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a 24 before guidance.
Oh, nice.
14's 4. Bob the tomato.
He's
Can
right.
you give him guidance if you're not using your guidance?
Yeah, and I haven't rolled it yet for this, so I can give you an extra d4. it was helpful.
Give him a gun. 13 will pass the stealth check. Successfully done. Here comes round 3. It's a lot of stealth again.
I did have another guy because I just rolled a 23.
17, you're already good.
Yeah.
Round 3 passes. You are just now passing in front of the palace. Go ahead and roll me round 4 of your stealth checks. Yeah, 13. That's 13.
I think I'm gonna keep the guidance this time for a total of 17.
17. You are able to duck behind one of these quick pillars. Bob, on a 13, a nat 13, you see 2 priests are making their way across the courtyard, and they look to be cloaked just like you guys are, trying to keep out of sight.
Oh, they're guards.
No, priests.
I'm going to tell them when you're short, pointing out to you.
Yeah.
Just so you know, there's 2 of us up there, and they're trying to stay out of the light too.
It's very much that, like, when you're stealthing around, you're hyper aware, so it's like, they just started doing what we're doing.
Can we tell if they're going like in the same direction or somewhere else, or like what they're headed for?
I will let you know that the priests seem to be going just a little bit back from whence you came.
Okay.
So not on the way, but they're like going against the grain of your guys' stealth mission.
Fair enough.
Feel like, as we're just frantically whispering by this pillar, I feel like my thoughts are our priority should still be the star piece, because there's like lots of explanations for why sketchy priests could be running around in the middle of the night. Like they're not,
Yeah.
like maybe just kind of
Perfectly
like,
normal sketchy reasons.
Sketchy priests on a floating city in the middle of the night.
Now
Tell
that
them.
we know what we're looking for, if we're looking for sketchy, sneaky priests, would we have like advantage on looking for a
or I was
sketchy,
thinking if
sneaky
we like
priest?
got a good look at them, we could like run it by Moses when we get back to everybody.
That's true.
Did I see them well enough for that?
Yeah, there was one that seemed, one was definitely taller than the other one seemed rather like stout. And you noticed it's that like the glint of like the amulets and symbols of the different gods they were wearing is really what caught your eye. It's that like, oh, they seem clerical in nature, but like they've pulled their cloaks and are really just working their way out of the palace area right now.
Unless we could like roll insight on like, are they doing something that would be important to us, or like do the sketchy priests have something to do with the star piece? Is it more like a religious artifact here?
I'll say insight, you'd have to follow them to make an insight. You can't make an insight just off of someone walking by. Walking by fast is that you would have to start doubling back, if that makes sense.
What are your thoughts? We know from your
I think this is our one opportunity to get that information. I don't think we're going to see another set of priests.
Okay.
But I also agree with you that our priority
I
should
feel
be
like,
over
yeah.
there.
It's just that like, I feel like there's not any non-metagaming proof that like these should be important to us.
Yeah.
Like, why?
I'm saying it was a nat 13. That's all the metagame you need if you want to go for it. Like, it's hard to ever explain, like,
Special insight on natural 13.
because nat 13s, I'm like, yeah, let's divert the course. Let's see if something interesting
Let's go
happens.
see if they're like,
Hang on. This is also the middle of the night, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible the observatory is not like open for business,
That's
and we should
true.
come back during day hours anyway.
yeah,
So we can follow the sketchy priest.
yeah, I like this logic.
We talked ourselves into it. Excellent. In which
We'll
case,
come back during business hours
It's
if
like
we
how
don't
we
get caught.
cross the river, and we're like, wait a minute, they won't even.
they're not even open. Let's just wait. Go ahead then. You can start double back following the priest. You can first make me insight checks if you so choose, but then you'll be making this next round of stealth checks more just against the priests, who are more or less actively looking for people, or, you know, that if they're being followed, so to speak.
Can I guidance up myself on my insight?
Yes, you can.
It's a 23.
Oh, nice. I got a 9.
No, Bob, yeah, these are, you know, totally normal middle of the night church duties.
Dead guy duty, cooking duty, separate together.
Right, I mean, listen, it's 1 a.m., you and your roommate are hungry, let's go get pizza.
I got munchies.
As you're heading to Leo, these priests look the most suspicious.
But, like, it's just...
You can tell they are armed, they have bags with them, they are looking around, like, very suspiciously at, like, anything, which actually you realize is going to make it a little bit harder, not terribly, to just stealth, because they are, like, ready for anyone to, like, get the jump on them.
My sister and I were young.
Go ahead.
It was ridiculous.
Let's make the stealth checks then against their passive perceptions.
It was great. Still checks. Hey, man. If you think that I did something together.
I can give you my guidance.
You actually can't because you used it for your insight.
Oh, it's the same round? Okay. So I got a 17.
14 thankfully doesn't break their passive. You follow the two priests. After some time, they find their way into a small building that, when you both first passed this, you thought it was just like a store that had closed up for the night, but you watch as they approach. At the door, they give a quick rap knock that seems to be in some rhythmic pattern, and the door opposite the street swings open, and they quickly dart across and enter.
I am there.
I'm sorry, I'm attention. I am attention. You're reincarnated.
Yeah. Are there like any windows that we
Okay,
can
no,
see?
You could head around the back alleyway, you think, and check for a window.
Yeah, let's do that.
Heading around, there seems to be a window. I'll just need one acrobatics check to kind of like hop up. It's a little bit higher.
You know,
Both of
I
us
don't
or
have a guy you can
I think for both of you, because it's that like Tulio, if you're hopping up, you're gonna need to like put Bob up, which will be the next
Do I have
round.
guidance back?
You do have guidance back now.
Yeah.
That was,
And our boxes are
that's a
still
7,
like
not a 1. Okay, cool.
I got a 12.
Yeah.
Did you use your guidance?
Yes.
Neither of you beat the DC to hop up.
I got a 12.
It's a 14, just to get up to the window.
You were so close.
So you guys hop up and kind of
It's
catch.
the perfect
Is there
spot,
people
yeah.
in there? After a few moments, though, it is hard. You're gonna probably either need to wait and retry that, like, okay, let's see if we run up the wall, or find something to give you the leverage to get up there.
Roll an investigation check for a crate in the street, like Lincoln Garuda down.
Make me an investigation check. Yeah, look for a crate.
We're short, we need a step ladder.
For sure.
Oh, but my investigation's a natural 11 for a 12.
Tulio, there's some crates here. It'll still be an acrobatics check, it just might be lower now.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, now I roll higher, that's a 22.
I did not roll higher.
But you can be in my pocket, right?
Bob,
That's fine.
you just won't be privy to this
That's okay.
immediate knowledge.
Yeah.
Tulio, upon looking in, you see the two priests are inside with a semicircle of other priests, each bearing a different holy symbol of a god of Egypt. You can easily tell the ones that seem to have symbols of Horus, Isis, Osiris, Set, Nephthys, but the ones that of course catch you are the golden eye sun symbols of Ra that are upon the two priests that first entered. You did have to take some time getting in, so this is the conversation you will overhear. I do not believe it is in our best interest to stay in Egypt much longer, given the Pharaoh's propensity for dramatics these days. One of the priests, which you think is of Set, based on just kind of that passive knowledge, kind of speaks up. But where are we to go? They are watching the boats in and out. I think we just need to regain power in the throne room. The smaller priest of Ra goes, No. That is not entirely smart, as the Pharaoh now has a bit of a way of knowing when we're truly being magical or not. I would not enjoy being on the receiving end of that fancy new sword of his. The priests all kind of murmur their, agreement, and the taller priest once again, now let's simply do this. I say we give it a week, if in which time we have reason for any dramatics, we meet up again and make a plan, make a scheme. I don't believe that the Pharaoh's so-called new god can last much longer for his liking, so we can find something else he might enjoy. Let's just play it cool. Some of the priests agree with this, but you notice the priest of Isis speaks up, and you see this is a more feminine figure. I don't think that this is a smart idea. I felt the power coming from the Pharaoh's new god and statue and idol, and simply it scares me. This magic is not something we've seen in Egypt. I say we leave. The head priest at this point turn. Do you need help? I'm so sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Maybe the top one, if there's not a black one up. Like up here.
Oh, I see that one. Sorry.
Because then it would have been Itafia.
There you go.
And then I'll knock things over like
Excellent.
I did last time. Thank you.
Totally good. The priests talking this, you see the two priests. It is completely fine. Let us simply wait. We have not lost our power yet in court, so we will see what the Pharaoh decides. Again, give it a week. Tulio, at which point you see all of them are starting to stand up, and you have to duck below or else they will see you. Do you guys want to stick around and try to wait to see if any of them leave, or is it time to go?
Or I was thinking just kind of like hide until they're all gone from the area so we don't like get seen.
Go ahead and make a stealth check then.
Do we need to worry about like moving the crate back to where we found it?
Too late.
Okay.
You see what I'm going to get you on, but unfortunately you should have decided that before the stealth check. Here we go. Tulio, that is a 10
It's a
plus...
13.
Okay, 13. Bob, that was a 12.
Yes.
I will let you know. You are going to be seen. As...
Can Bob be seen alone?
Probably not. As I'm going to make a check, just to be sure. But this is with advantage, of course, because there's multiple of them. 20, highest 2. Add 3 to their perception investigation. Oh, did not make that right. So, exclamation point. Oh, I need to figure out how to fix my soft keys on this. The higher of the two was a 16. As you are going, it's very much...
You can cut it words.
Do you want to cut in words?
Yeah.
Okay. You just need to get... Bob, your stealth was a 12, so you just need to cutting words and get a 4 higher.
Words for the win.
6.
Nice!
That's a 6. Because I almost misspoke. I'm like, technically it should have been a 5, but yes, a 6 means on a 10. Tulio, you realize too late, it's not like, we gotta move the crate. No, they're gonna know. This is right by the window. But already you hear the door starting to open. Both of you run down the alleyway. The last thing you hear is you duck behind a corner. One of the priests goes, "A crate! Someone has been here! Stand up! Search for them!" And you are already gone, hidden by the night air. Lucky.
Words are great.
That could have been really bad. In which case, are you guys heading back to the observatory, or do you want to hunker down, like take a long rest, and try to get...
I'm wondering if his new idol is a piece of rock.
My thing is like I definitely want a long rest. When we heard about like statues and idols, is this like something that we would have like passed and seen out in the courtyard, or is this like you had to go inside the pyramid?
What if I had to go into the palace?
Yeah, but that could mean anything. That could mean like a hacked blade. That could be lots of things. And from like all the vibes that I'm hearing about the star piece is I don't think it can be like easily reforged into something that's not the other pieces that like were with it.
But when they mentioned the new idol and stuff like that, they said they had magic that they had seen.
Yeah. I would like want to look into it maybe, but also like we gotta know that's the most dangerous place to be.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So So I would say
Should we go to the observatory and find out there? And then if we do need to make it into the palace, come back for everyone else, and we can all go together.
that's probably smart.
Alright.
But yeah, is there a safe way for us to like take a long rest and go to the observatory in the morning?
You'll just have to make one final high check, kind of that like find an
Finding a
alleyway,
place
find
or-
some
place
a
to be
house or
down.
an inn somewhere we can just kind of duck into and sleep for them.
Investigation or stuff?
Stealth. So sorry.
Well,
That's not bad.
that's a 10.
All right.
If we're looking for a long rest, I can give you another bar.
That would be great.
If we're going to like the observatory or the palace,
That's
I would like
cool.
to hold on to those, but
Well, I think the plan was to try and find a place where we can long rest. I'm just rolling really bad stealth for that.
You find there is an inn here. One of those simple, like, where they probably accommodate travelers at one point. You slip in and see this Egyptian man, right? Hello, can I help you this evening?
Can we just get a room for the night? We came in kind of late.
Yes, I can charge you 2 gold pieces for a room for the night.
Perfect. I'll give him 2 gold pieces.
Flick
I'll
him the
give
gold.
in 2 more. Just so that, like, I'm hoping that if we give him more, he won't like tell anyone that we're
Don't ask too
That's
many
a
questions.
real world smart thing of like, hey, here's your tip to make sure no one knows we're here. Yeah. He takes the 4 gold, just goes, have a pleasant stay, directs you up to the room, and the party as a whole, before we take a long rest, we are going to make some Constitution saving throws.
There you go. This is the thing.
That's right.
Evil, evil, evil.
I've been very lucky because I don't have anything to con. Can I? No.
That's loaded for it.
Go.
Oh, alright, that is a 22.
Oh, I got 2 feet.
Oh, this could
Finally,
be really bad.
Real bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you're trying to sleep,
If you're trying to get a good long rest in, I do need a Constitution save.
Sorry, I like some contemplating.
Oh no! I rolled a natural 3, I've got a +6. So a 9.
I rolled a 2 and I plus 1.
Oh! You almost got that 20, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Plus 7.
You?
Yeah. I rolled a 13.
Oh, good!
Hunk and Moses, you will be able to take a long rest.
Thank you very much.
Bob got a 3. Tulio a 6, Nana a 9, Elizabeth a 12. Elizabeth, you'll be able to take a long rest. Nana, Tulio, and Bob,
Yeah, but I feel like I was just
you
away.
are racked by nightmares. You are not allowed to take a long rest. You may choose to take a short rest to try to avoid a point of exhaustion.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
Dang. It's interesting because I'm thinking of my other character. I'm like, I don't know what Minareth's nightmares would be about. Then I'm like, Nana's, she's a soldier. She was in war.
Yeah,
Oh,
Nana,
no.
you are having full Leonin War flashbacks. Tigers ripping apart your platoons. The teeth and fur were everywhere. Bombs went off. Air raids from the cats. It was a bad time. Bad war.
Very bad kidneys.
Bob,
Very
once
nice
again,
one,
you
sis.
have the same nightmares of these dark beings swirling around you and the garden in flames and everyone gone. Tulio, you have just one person asking you why all night.
What did you do?
I left.
Oh
Meaning, as you wake up, unfortunately, our tiny little stealth strike team, you did not get a long rest before heading to the observatory.
We're both good on hit points.
That's-
But
Yeah,
abilities.
it's abilities.
Yeah.
So, question. Because I feel like there's something I could get out of it, and I would rather not lose it. Can I do an insight on my dream? Having been to the dead church recently, could I do an insight on the dream to see if there's any connection?
Yeah, you attended the Church of the Crisp, so you can definitely make it.
Oh, the what?
Church of the Crisp?
Like, is it like the potato
There is a separate denomination, you know, kind of like Orthodox v. non-Orthodox, where there's a Church of the Fresh, but
17.
at 17, Bob, on 17, you're realizing something, I think, that while these dreams don't feel prophetic, it's not like there's something you're missing. It's more of the fact that they're occurring. This is odd that something is finding these things in your mind and kind of grossly, almost parasitically latching onto them, where it's like it knows this is affecting you and this is why you're having the nightmares,
Yeah.
which is not a pleasant feeling, honestly. Bob and Tulio, it is a new day, and it is the daytime now, which actually might make it easier to stealth the complete way to the observatory in one check. We're not dealing with guards or
I
rotations.
just have a question.
Yes,
While
ma'am.
they're doing all this, could we have been working on building a raft big enough for all of us?
You know,
If we had hours and
do it.
hours, yeah.
you have had all night and into the day to start. I'll say Elizabeth, Nana, Moses, and Hunk. Let's build a raft. Go ahead and make me a sleight of hand check.
Useful while you guys are risking your lives.
Thank you.
I'm gonna laugh if
Don't
there's a
do
failure.
that.
That would be really funny though.
Oh, that's not 20.
Natural 20 from Hunk.
I think sleight of hand. I was looking at the other skills to be like, could I do survival instead?
Wow, that's a 6.
Moses used all your good rope last time, so it's not like, well, great, I can't make another one. I made a
21. Could I
21.
use survival?
Unfortunately, not at all. This is pure sleight of hand. Can you lash together a raft?
Oh my gosh, that's a nat 13, dude!
A nat 13.
Plus 1.
Nana, I'll give you this. As you, again, the morning comes and the four of you decide, let's build a raft, something big enough that, like, we could all get over, that we're not hoping that Tulio and Bob don't die or get eaten. All of you start lashing the raft together using reeds, poles, spare bits of wood, and before too long, Nana, I'll say you look up and barges are starting to come out of the gates of Egypt once more now that it is daytime.
Why?
If you so choose, you're thinking there's a possibility you could probably try to, I don't want to say hail one, but if you get one of their attentions, maybe not like a big military one, but one of the smaller maybe fishing boats,
Yeah.
you could probably try to lure one over.
Lure one of-
Thank
lure
you.
a fishing
Thank you. I try my best.
That was nice.
Should
But I get made fun of for my Bob joke.
Yeah. Because it was too obvious. It was like right there.
Okay, I thought it was hilarious.
I mean, lure, fishing boat, you gotta like work for it.
Gotta be a thinker.
Gotta be a thinker.
Well, how am I?
No, but yeah, I will say for Moses, Elizabeth, Nana, and Hunk,
Do we want to wave a fishing boat over?
you want to try to get a fishing boat.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Sure.
All right. Whoever wants to can make me then the persuasion check to try to hail.
I have
barge.
a +3. Does someone have a better persuasion?
I have a +3.
Let's not have you do it. Let's
Yeah.
not have
Can you
you do it.
imagine, like, damn that Moses, now we're sitting on the knot. Is that Moses?
I will do it then. I should not be the one.
Son of a bitch.
Plus, I
I
just
got an 18.
nice.
In 18, how do you want to hail them?
I want to use my glasses to reflect the sun.
I love that.
So this dude who woke up, is going fishing, his livelihood, suddenly just starts getting his eyes flashed by the sun over and over and over. After a while, then it looks up, and sees you all over in the reeds.
Could I have had, like, doffed my armor and just have it in a pack so I just look like a little old lady?
Yeah, I'd allow that. Going for a full sneak attack. This dude starts sailing over on his fishing boat. Within 30 feet, you see he's pulling in. It's kind of that harder reed. He's trying to like use his pull to push. Just, excuse me, are you lost, ma'am?
Oh, I wanted to go sightseeing to Egypt, and I am from a much colder climate, and the sand is just hurting my eyes so much. I was wondering if you could maybe give us a ride to the lovely floating city.
How do you know about our floating city? This is rather new for us.
I heard the
What is your
rumors.
name?
My name is Sashenka Bogdana Vyacheslavovic, but you can call me Nana.
Thank you, Nana. I see you have a camel sled with you. I don't know if I can bring that over, but I know
I'm
we're...
giving up on the camel sled. It is just going to stay there for a moment. I just would love to see the beautiful pyramids.
Excellent.
up
Yes,
close.
if you want to come aboard. Is there other people that are with you that I see?
Yes, these are my grandchildren.
Love that.
Grandmama! Wow.
Go ahead. I need...
I plant a big wet kiss on
This is
your
my
cheek.
useless drunkard of a
I
grandson, but
feel like this is deception. I
Okay.
feel like you're pulling a con on this dude.
that is fair.
So I will need a group
I got a
deception.
17.
We just need a group success. Here we go.
Oh my God.
Nana got a 17.
I got a 19.
Most got a 19.
Oh,
Anna,
Elizabeth got a 16.
don't screw us over here, hon.
Why did you say it? You spoke it into existence.
Hump got a 6. So looking through, for some reason, this dude looks through and goes, "Oh yeah, that dude looks like he's lived in Egypt his whole life." Kind of looking at Moses, looks at Elizabeth, pink hair. Why not? That looks normal. Sees you, Hunk, you specifically in your full Bayard armor, and goes, "This is your grandchild?"
yes, he's going through a phase.
Yes, it's a fucking stupid face. He looks dumb. Why are you wearing armor in the desert?
He is very.
All the cool kids are doing it.
Oh. You see what I have to
What
work with?
kids? Who around here is wearing armor that's pressuring you?
My homeschool group.
So these two are pressuring you into wearing armor?
No, my homeschool group. Back home.
Wait, so
But you
where's your home then?
I have given up on making sense out of anything he's
You have a
doing.
homeschool group that still pressures you out in the desert?
I'll rethink my costume colors.
I'm just saying, you're going to get heat stroke out here.
Perhaps.
Hell, climb aboard, I guess. Get you guys some water.
Yes!
You guys will have to leave the camel sled just parked here, but again, this is outside of any
Is there
cities.
anybody around that we can pay to like watch it?
Not unless you head like all the way back to the 10, and at that
Yeah,
point,
that's
I just want to double check we weren't missing out.
no, you're totally fine.
You guys are getting reinforcements. Let's see if this is actually helpful.
You see, my name is Aham. I guess welcome to my fishing
I am
boat.
fond of ham.
What?
Ham, it is quite good.
No, Aham.
Oh.
He's a single ham.
This dude who's like hardcore regretting picking up this grandma and her 3 grandkids. Just play it cool.
So nice.
Is gonna start ferrying you back. So, what brought you to Egypt? Sightseeing, you say?
Yes, I've heard tales of the pyramids, and I was very disappointed when Egypt was gone.
Ah, yes, it was a change, but what the pharaoh asks, of course.
Interesting.
That is impressive. He could move all of Egypt onto the... How did this happen?
Oh, it's pharaoh was blessed by the gods. A blessing after our years of curses by the vile man who brought death to our lands.
Oh,
If I ever find the man who killed my son, I will break his neck with my own hands. Moses, give me a
I would have-
straight up stealth check to just hide your face.
was gonna say I just kind of put the rope on
Yeah.
the floor.
Boy, that button does not want to be pushed.
You are stressing me out so much.
Nat 20! You nat 20. As this dude, you would break his neck with my own hands, but the Pharaoh is blessed by the gods, he says. They flooded the river, and the great goddess Nephthys has brought us protection. I cannot explain it, but we float now. And it is good. Many people now rely on the fishing business, which I must say, I cannot hope you expect me to ferry you off of Egypt. You must buy a barge at that point.
Of
I have
course.
much to make up then today.
That is understood. There were just no barges to be bought on this side of the river.
Did you not go to one of the major Egyptian city-states that they have started claiming? They barge there most often?
What are they called? Maybe I just passed by them.
Well, we have conquered the lands of Nubia, so Nubia is under our control. We have hit down all the way to just about the break of the Nile in Midian, but there are still some holdouts. You know, those wild savages in the mountains that keep to their old ways.
Oh,
But no, Nubia is probably the smartest place to find barges where we now have trade in this new colonies.
I must just really get turned around. All I could find were other fishing boats, and of course, as you must understand, it was too far for them to travel. They had fishing to do. So you are
Yes,
very
of course.
proud. You must make your grandmother very proud.
My grandmother is dead.
Oh, proud in her grave.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
She is dead, buried off where Egypt used to stand, and now I am here in the middle of the Nile fishing.
Are you alright?
No, I'm really not. It's
I am
been a
so
bad couple of years. I'm sorry. First, everything was great. We were prospering. Suddenly, the Israelites say they want to leave, and there was this cursed man with them, and they brought plagues and their own foreign gods, and they killed my son. And that really, really hurts. I didn't ask for this. I'm a fisherman. Didn't know that was a problem, but they're bloodthirsty, those Israelites. They went for the fucking kill.
I hope that you and your family can benefit from
No,
the time
just
and
me.
skill.
No, wife died many years in childbirth. Had my only son and took him. Yep,
You are still a very kind man.
I'm trying my best. Well, here we are. This day after the worst fairy ride of your lives, as Moses is either just fetal position, cowering in that nat 20, like don't look at me.
I was looking at maybe nat 20 though.
That's such a clutch nat 20. It wasn't like a crazy check, but it was still that like do not. Making your way, you
did not
start
want to kill
sailing
this guy.
in to the main gates.
As we're leaving, I'm gonna drop like 10 gold.
Just 10 gold, just kind of in the boat, so it's
Yeah.
like he'll find it. As you're passing through these gates, a guard kind of calls out, you come back early today. You see, I picked up travelers wishing to see our great new city. So of course I came back. I will head back, of course. I'll see you on the next round. And you see the guard waves them through as you all enter into the city of Egypt. As we enter into Egypt itself for the rest of the party, Aham is going to drop you off in the southern section. Listen, if you're gonna mock his name after Moses killed his only son, that's low.
Sorry, you just said ahem and I was like,
Yeah, I know. He's gonna drop you off in that lower section, kind of by this obelisk, as you can see. There's this like stone black obelisk that, as you drop off, you see Aham kind of points out just a monument the Pharaoh built to the lost sons of Egypt. And you see indeed this obelisk is carved with thousands of names of the first sons of each family that died. Moses, this is getting really awkward.
Yeah.
You see, right before he drops you off, though, Moses, you've placed the gold, and you'll be able to kind of overhear the stuff. But of course, things looked up. The royal army was able to round up most of the Israelites, and they're back working for us. So, all's pretty good. I mean,
Awkward.
yes, of course. Wait, why is that awkward?
Oh no, that was
That was not.
Okay, it's just, can you imagine that awkward?
She's been very consistent with the accent.
I know, I won't be.
I suck at a Russian.
As the four of you kind of hop off the boat, standing in this open war courtyard in front of the monument obelisk, what would the four of you guys like to do? Moses, feeling any heat behind the
Have you
ears?
told us anything about your backstory? I feel like that's a no.
Nope.
Really?
So we have no idea about this. I think honestly,
No one
Nana,
knows Moses.
Nana would probably see this obelisk as something to really respect because I mean it's like a monument made to soldiers fought in battle, except this is innocence lost.
Yeah, this is.
So-
I love that no one knows this is Moses, because yeah, for Hunk, Elizabeth, Nana, this is like
We
wow,
don't
yeah,
know the story. We don't know.
they had such a bad time, and it is one of those things of perspective, right? If you think about it, the Israelites, while yeah, we wanted them to be free, thousands of Egyptians are just straight up in suffering for much of their lives.
Yeah.
And we know, but you know, it really wasn't the Pharaoh's actions, but still, that's not how a lot of
and
the
like,
people would
we
see
can
it.
see it as well. God just took those kids home and they're okay, but all the families who lost their kids,
They
that is
have
hell on
deep
earth.
hatred now.
That's dishonorable.
That kind of makes sense. We don't really get the Bible, so it's very interesting.
You don't,
Yeah.
right? I had a lot of fun planning this out.
I think that Nana would just kind of kiss her fingers and then put them against the obelisk and then move on.
All of you kind of stand next to the obelisk, people moving in and around. Moses, I will let you know that Nat 20 is gonna carry for a while. I will say you have very carefully have fashioned a half hijab to just like I'm covering the bottom half of my face with a scarf, keeping my cloak up. Like someone would have to personally like know you enough to like look into your eyes, but I know you. Like you're not going to be noticed unless they're literally magically clairvoyant at this point. As the four of you have now landed here in Egypt, we will cut back to Tulio and Bob, of course, heading towards the observatory. With the both of you, this is just one stealth check, because you're able to go the entire way now, just with crowds and people. It's just more, there might be the occasional guard. So let's see, and Tulio, you can use your guidance. So that is a 17 for Bob for that stealth check.
Scroll over to the right screen.
Totally fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna add a guidance real fast.
That was an 8.
That's a 10.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why I'm rolling so low tonight.
Then I give you another bardic.
You can give a Bardic.
That would be great.
D6.
That's a 12.
12 beats the DC 11.
Thank you, Bob. That
As
saved me.
Tulio and Bob, as you're walking through, having to pass by the palace again, Tulio, you almost ram into the two priests you saw the night before.
Nice.
And right before Bob, you have enough that little magic, like, kind of pull on Tulio, that little lock of hair, and Tulio, you
Did he just ratatouille me?
very much so is how we're gonna describe it.
Yes.
Tulio, you go from running into the priest to like whip around behind a pillar. Both priests stop as that like we almost got hit and look, but you're already gone. They don't pay too much mind as again, there's a lot of people even in front of the palace that are moving back and forth, going about their duties. As this happens, the priests move on, Tulio and Bob, making your way through the city. You two see there are a lot of people out, and the first thing you notice is the groups of slaves that move throughout the city.
I thought you freed the slaves.
They got recaptured while he was gone.
Yeah.
I wasn't back there.
You're good. Groupings of about 10 to 12 Israelites that you can tell, just that like Egyptians have that very beautiful olive tan skin. The Israelites have like still very weathered skin, but it's a bit lighter, a little more like longer hair, frizzled. As they move through, they are surrounded by about 4 guards with whips and khopesh. As they move through, though, important to note, you watch as each of them are painting this like strange kind of like very liquidy blue paint that as it slowly travels through, once they've gone far past enough, the paint as it dries slightly glows, kind of like a fuse that seems to travel a little bit as it dries, and once it is dried, it's no longer visible. As they kind of just keep that paint going through,
I'm like conspiring so much in my mind right now.
Like
good.
Arcana or something to be like, what is this magical paint?
Make me an Arcana.
Can I do things well?
Yeah.
Can I like give you a help? Oh no, I'm not proficient.
Yeah, it's kind of just a bit. 11 and
Can I add a dice to this,
15.
or is it the same round?
This is still about the same round.
So I will take the 15.
Both of you are realizing it seems magical, right? Again, as they paint, it lingers maybe for those few seconds, but this is a very thin lacquer-based thing that is drying fast, probably oil, that as it dries again, it kind of sparkling travels along and does not last long. Indeed, it's why you pass by a couple of these groups that move intercrossing the city. You could assume they're doing this kind of everywhere, maybe, but not much can be said for what this could be, simply that they're tracing lines. Tully and Bob, seeing the observatory before you, there are indeed Egyptian scientists and mages that are now moving in and about this building. For the both of you, what would you like to do now that you're here? Do you want to look for someone in particular, or do you just want to kind of observe? No pun intended.
I think we should look for some sort of like either receptionist type person or like who looks like they're approachable and not like in the middle of something, or like who might be able to show us to somebody who's like more knowledgeable, and just kind of give that intro of like, hey, we've got some at the Oak Observatory because we saw this like astrological event and it, you know, landed around here. Wanted to see like what your observatory found out about it.
Okay. If that's the case, go ahead and make me quick investigation checks. Let's take a look.
Investigation, you said?
Investigation.
Nat 20.
Okay, guys.
Easily enough, you see
I found a janitor.
You'd be surprised with janitors over here.
That's fair.
a Egyptian, that beautiful shaved head with the side ponytail in very impressive robes is moving around, and you can tell this person must be like important because they are bringing scrolls to different people, catching them by the ear, the robe, giving them different pieces of parchment, instruments, kind of just like working their way around. Hailing them down, the person turns, hello, how may I help you?
Hi, I'm Julia, this is my friend Bob. We're actually scientists with the Oak Observatory, and we noticed the astrological event recently that looked like some artifact in the sky landed near here. We were wondering if you, being closer to the event, had more information.
Whoa, I'm sorry, you're from the Ochre Observatory?
Yes, that's correct.
Can I see some identification?
Sure, and I'll hand over our credentials.
There we go, he's gonna make a check.
No Doctor Who vibe. Radiance,
Right.
You know.
It's this, don't look too
Just a
closely.
bunch of wiggly lines. Oh,
It's
fun.
Nat 2.
Nice.
Of course, it is
Finally,
a
what?
pleasure to meet you both. Masters Tulio, Master Bob. It is a pleasure. We were not expecting anyone from the observatory, though. Did you send a letter ahead? This is rather sudden.
Oh, massive.
It should have come in, but
Nah, I think that was that.
there's so much going on in the area that it could have gotten delayed.
Indeed. We do have a hard time receiving mail. I apologize.
24
Please,
here.
how may I be of assistance? You were saying something about the recent meteorological anomaly.
Yeah.
Yes, we were just thinking our colleagues here might, having been closer to the event, have more information for us, or maybe even found what it was that seemingly fell from the sky on the night the moon bled.
Of course. It was back, in the time before our city has taken to the water. The meteor struck very far down the Nile, and in fact, before we had a chance to investigate it, the Pharaoh himself came back with the piece.
Oh, wow, okay.
That's fascinating that your ruler takes such an interest in these scientific happenings.
Of course, this is no longer astronomic, but astrology. This was a gift from the gods, of course, he says. The god Ra sent a piece of the sun down, spreading across, and gave it to our pharaoh.
That's awesome. That's great to hear.
So should we take it then, being astrological in nature, that it's in some temple and not here to be studied?
No, of course. The pharaoh has kept it with him.
I see. Can we gauge, does this guy seem unhappy about this as a scientist?
By his facial features, he seems more just like this is what happened. If you want to make an insight, you can.
Might as well.
Yeah, might as well.
That's an at one.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Tulio? Yeah, it's life, right?
Yeah.
On Dirty 20, Bob, there does seem to be maybe a bit of that regret of, it would have been great to study whatever fell from this guy, but you see, he definitely is a good citizen of well, if the god sent it to our pharaoh, the living god, who am I to judge? I guess should have been faster, right? It's very much that, what are you gonna do vibe. But you see, as this kind of receptionist talking to you says, yes, of course, if you wish, I suppose we could set up a meeting with the pharaoh to inquire about the piece of sword he has.
I think it would be an incredible opportunity to see it if that would be allowed. And of course, while we're here, let us know if there are any requests you would like to send back with us to Ochre Observatory. Our colleagues will be
Of course, right
happy
away.
to
I will.
reopen correspondence.
I will write a formal petition, as members of the Ochre Observatory would love to investigate and study the piece of the sun that fell to our pharaoh.
Thank you so much.
Simply meet me back tomorrow. I should have sent off the letter by then, and we may discuss further.
Excellent.
About what time would you like us to meet with you tomorrow?
Whatever time suits you.
Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
That was so slick.
As you guys do so, the last thing you guys see, this person walks in, probably go talk to people, get a letter sent off, get that all figured out. We cut Moses, Nana, Elizabeth, Hunk. You guys in this southern part of the city, what you would notice here, this is very much a housing district. There's a lot of people that seem to live here. There are a lot of, shall we call them minor pyramids, but very much a lot of, how do I put this gently? This is the lower income housing section of the city. You're seeing a lot of people, including Israelites, who are out here, living their best lives, trying the best they can, as the more richer, more Egyptian part of the city has been designated to that northern section. What would the four of you guys like to do now that you're here?
Steal from the rich and give it to the needy.
Ramadan! Hiya! And just, go wild.
idea. We will get caught and killed so quick.
I have two
I know,
different
Grandma,
thoughts.
but this is
Two different thoughts. Go for it.
My grandma.
So my first thought is,
Yeah.
do we want to see if we can locate Tulio and Bob, or do we want to see if we can locate the sword?
Or the what?
The sword piece, because we don't know that you guys know where it is.
That's true. So my biggest thing is I know that Tulio and Bob have a much better chance of staying
Because we
under
did
the
tell you
radar
what our
than the
plan
rest
was
of
to
us.
find the
Right,
sword.
because we know that you
looking
were going
for
to
it.
the observatory.
Yes, because I made up the forged document and everything
Yeah.
with the party.
Yeah.
So we can assume that they're at the observatory now.
That's
We
true.
can even just go look and see.
But so I would think.
I might have a way of getting some intel
Oh, cool.
on what's been happening. And I'm gonna look for Aaron.
It's actually really depressing.
Oh.
I have a specific DC set.
Oh.
Go ahead, make me an
I kind of
investigation.
don't want you to find Aaron. Just
Whatever.
Ooh.
Yeah. Whatever we do, I think even if we find Bob and Tulio, we should pretend that we don't really know them.
That's
Because
a
then we can
9.
say, as potential.
A 9, you say?
But
We give guidance.
we don't. We don't have. Do you have guidance?
How?
No, I just know.
Here's what I was saying. You rolled a 9.
Action
How are you
there.
looking for Aaron?
Aaron!
Yeah, right. Well, it's like there's a difference. Are you going to try to like maybe catch a couple people and inquire about his name, or is it more that like let's head around and look?
I think at first I'll kind of head around and try and like look in the windows, but if I can, I might. After that, I might try and stop somebody and ask.
It was a year ago, guys. Dude, if you're gonna get seen.
Moses, you guys look around, kind of trying to poke your ear and eye around for Aaron. Hours pass and you're not finding anyone. Indeed, most Israelites, there's a lot of Israelites. It's hard to know everyone. You're gonna probably have to ask someone.
Alright.
You catch a woman who's sitting there with maybe her kid. She's, sweeping off this small little house they have here. As she sees you approaches, what do you want?
I'm looking for a man called Aaron.
Damn you. And she quickly grabs her kid and rushes into the house.
What? What did you say to that nice lady that scared her so
I
bad?
just asked if she knew where Aaron was.
Who the heck is it?
My brother.
Oh. You are a Fulani Egyptian then. I thought you were just a homeless dude out in the desert.
I just thought you were a dude.
I am a Hebrew. Excuse you.
So you're a homeless Hebrew. Okay.
Yes.
That feels like a derogatory statement somehow, and I'm gonna let it slide.
I also feel like this is very much kind of like diaspora. They technically are all homeless right now.
Exactly. Well, yeah, and so I'm like, is that mean to say?
As soon as I said homeless Hebrew, I'm like, oh no.
It feels like a dig.
It feels like a dig.
Situation of the people.
Listen,
Yeah.
you're punching down, man.
I
You're punching
swear,
down.
I did not mean it that way.
No,
Alright, that is a cranky.
it was more
racist
funny
lady.
because it caused me pausing, going like, wait.
No, I'm
So
okay,
yeah.
I get Tabaxi.
So Moses, you inform like this is my brother.
Yeah. So I'm
I
not.
love your giggle baby.
So I'm not sure we're gonna get too far just asking people if all their reactions are like that.
Well, I wonder why their reactions are like that.
Insight? You
You can
just
make me an
asked
insight.
this random woman if she knew where Aaron was. Is Aaron famous?
Kind of.
Okay.
Come on.
Are you famous?
Hey Moses, I'll give you an actual insight. Is your brother, who was your voice while in Egypt, famous?
Well, she asked if I'm famous.
I know. Yeah.
Well, we
you're-
already
yeah.
know that he's wanted because
15.
we did have the guards.
She
Yeah,
looked
it's like-
scared. You said Aaron, it was that like, no, I'm not sticking around for this.
Yeah.
Can
So we need to find where people aren't scared of whatever's going on.
can I approach
What about
it?
here
Is
in
there
Egypt?
another just?
Yeah, there's
Hebrews
people around. Again, like it's, either like parents that are home with the kids or like
Is there
elderly
like a
who can't really
charge
move.
of- like.
He was when I last saw him.
Okay, I'm just gonna go up to one of the. Excuse me, is there someone who is kind of a leader, or?
You see, looking down, now that you approach, you notice that it's this younger looking man who actually doesn't seem to have one of his legs, and so you're realizing, like, oh yeah, I can't really work. You want someone in charge, go find a garter of the pharaoh.
What's the
There's
first?
no one who speaks for your people.
He spits on you and starts hobbling away.
Wow.
Huh? Amputees are usually cranky.
Nana is on a weird one tonight. First the Jews, now the cripples. Come on, Nana. You might horrify your friend. USPs, but are you? Yeah.
At this point, man, it's just a Russian from Fiddler.
I know, this is like, wow. But Nana, you, like,
Yeah, are you gonna start doing the Russian dance soon?
Did we just make Fiddler accidentally canon?
no, you did not. We're keeping far away from that.
And the hell, I've never seen Fiddler on the Roof. So
But very much,
see it.
as you see this man with his crutch looks mad. Like, this is something you notice different, just passive insight. Not the same as, like, when you brought up Aaron, but when you say a voice for your people looked angry and is now going.
So those specific words.
I said speaks, but no, that makes sense. Never mind.
Did you have any other family?
Let's not get into this,
It gets a little complicated, but there's also my sister Miriam.
Maybe people are mad at your brother, but not at your sister. Because girls are nicer than boys.
Could I ask someone?
I said you're not paying attention to what Nana just did.
Yeah, well, but Nana, you did that to a cripple, and they're very mad at you. That was not okay.
I was polite to the cripple, and then he's mad at me. I'm like, okay, well, fine.
Well, the handicapped gentleman is now gone, so yes, Elizabeth, do you want to try to, like, grab another person at their home, try to ask?
Yeah, why not?
You ask, an elderly-looking gentleman now appears at the door. Can I help you?
I'm looking for someone named Miriam.
Miriam?
Mm-hmm.
You would not find her here right now. She works at the palace.
Oh, do you know where she lives? And I'll just go camp out in front of her
Well,
house.
she is one of the higher-up slaves who has been taken to work at the palace. They live on site.
All of her family lives on site?
Her family? Oh, no.
No? Does she
No.
have family somewhere else?
Ugh. God willing, unfortunately, she does have family. Her brother, of course, has been taken to the more deeper areas of the city to work, and we do not speak his name.
Oh.
I see. I see.
Oh.
Okay, thank you so much for your help, and I'm gonna pass him a copper.
He firmly grasps you. Thank you. And whisks back inside his house.
It's interesting
with
that
copper
Aaron became a pariah and Miriam has been elevated.
Yeah.
She's
Let me
still a
point out,
slave.
she is a slave. That is not elevated.
No, one of the higher slaves is what I'm saying.
Yes, I see what you're saying.
Well,
it's just
I
like
think
very
they
important,
can keep
distinctive.
an eye on
More
her, too.
cushy job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you where your family is.
Oh yeah.
They're in the palace.
Shit.
What did you do to everyone here? Everyone seems to hate your guts.
All right, everybody, settle in.
Then we just watch the Prince of
Yeah,
Egypt.
and then
She summarizes Exodus for you.
You know, we've had this in Disney D&D where it's like, let me summarize my story, and we just watch a movie. But very much,
No,
Moses, I would say,
Let me
you summarize. How much do you want to include out of this summary?
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
That's more, it's like, because we all know the summary, but is there any key points you would either leave out or emphasize that kind of dichotomy here?
At this point, I don't think I'd leave a whole lot out.
Okay. So, nothing really emphasized, but all of you get these main points.
So
How...
where does the story end, though? In
Oh, yes,
the
that...
story?
I think the big things, of course, Moses was sent off by his mother. Yocheved was hiding Moses from the Pharaoh's order to slay the firstborn of each of the Hebrews. Miriam and Aaron sent him off, and he was discovered by the palace, where the Pharaoh Seti and Queen Tuya took him in. He was raised alongside Ramses. Was there when Ramses was promoted to the acting Prince of Egypt, given a high role to be this architect and royal advisor to him. Moses slew one of the guards, though, after running into Miriam and Aaron, learning of his lineage, and fled.
Is the guard who slew the son of the fisherman?
No, that would
it's
have
a
been
child
later on.
Okay.
But I will say, Moses,
He's Noblinsky.
Moses, as you think back to that guard you killed, you cannot help but see the striking resemblance to the guard that caught you in the Thames, and think they must be related.
That makes sense.
Of course.
As Moses tells you how he fled, he met Zipporah in the wilderness, how he lived there for many years with the Midianites, kind of just learning and growing, learning the ways of the Lord, this one God instead of many, eventually being told by God to come back and free the Hebrews.
Brought the 10 plagues.
Brought the 10 plagues, ending with the death of the firstborn of each Egyptian family. Each of you then seeing, still in the distance, the obelisk of those names. Realizing that that fisherman's son, that was not Moses' doing, but Moses enacted it. And of course Moses leading them across the Red Sea, Pharaoh trying to follow, but the water crashing down before he could escape, and you leaving with the rest of the Hebrews. Now, yes, Moses, how much more of the story do you want to tell, though?
Oh no,
Yeah, why aren't you still with the Midianites?
Well, then after we got freed, I led the people out. A whole lot of shit went down. They basically turned on me and left.
We went back to Egypt.
Yep, but apparently I've now been rounded back up.
Well, they were down.
Thank you!
Moses, someone's on my side.
What happened with your brother?
Aaron went to more just kind of like help the people, but apparently things didn't go very well for him.
And Miriam is now in the palace.
Apparently, I don't know why.
So why aren't you living with the goat people? They were goat herders, right? In
Yeah.
the movie?
Yeah.
The go-to people.
The good people.
Or just kind of decided to live out in exile for right now.
You look very lonely. Okay.
Until Yulon showed up.
You're
I will say, as part of this story, Moses apparently has a wife. That
Say, where's your wife at?
You're married!
Yes.
You abandoned your wife! Oh.
Like a vulture.
It's complicated.
It's
Your
complicated.
resume for being an adventurer is just like, what the
So a lot going on. So if we want, we can try and find Aaron by going deeper in, or we can head to the observatory, maybe meet back up with two of the other.
I feel like it'd be smarter to get the party back together. That way, if we do need to go find Aaron, because it sounds like he's in the palace, like in the deep depths of the palace. Like
It sounded like he's
it
in.
sounded like they both were.
No, it sounded like he was in a different area of the city that, like, one of the worst jobs. Like,
Aaron's a more, lack of a better term, the ghetto part of the city.
yeah.
Somewhere really bad.
It's a good one. I'm so glad.
Literally today.
I'm so
I'm also
glad.
glad that we clarified that is a reference.
Did you not know that?
Well, no, I do know no girl. It was just not like, again, it's kind of like earlier where it's like, let's clarify, we are not punching down.
Yeah. That's what I said for lack of a better
For
term.
lack of a better term.
Literally, we just watched it like probably like a half an hour before you guys.
In
If
which
we are to
case,
find Julius
for
and
the
Bob,
party,
we should pretend we don't know
Moses,
that we don't
Nana,
know their
Hunk,
number.
and Elizabeth. Could you go ahead and give me quick investigation checks? Let's
Oh,
find our way over to the observatory and to the
I
rest
will
of the party.
attempt. I will most likely fail, but I will try.
Well, that's a dirty 20.
Well,
Well, that's a 12.
I have a -1 on investigations, which
That
gives
is-
me an unnatural one.
And
I
that
once got a negative
Moses.
12.
2 with a different character who had a
Dang.
-3 on stuff. It sucked.
It does suck.
Elizabeth got a Civ 20, and Hunk got a 1.
I surely did.
No, that was
Two 12s,
different
a 20 and
characters
one.
not met. I have gotten a -1.
It takes some time, but Tulio and Bob, as you both are sitting here wondering, again, they said to come back next day. Do we steal a barge? Do we try to go back? Do we just stay in the city? How do we contact our friends? You would see Nana, sans armor, of course, for now. Elizabeth, full pink hair, Hunk, and what you could assume is Moses, but now completely shrouded.
Can we like subtly signal them to like meet up in an alleyway or something so we're not like seen talking with them?
Like it.
You don't want to talk to us anymore.
I don't want people to see us together. Yes.
Like common trash.
No, I'm joking.
We spit at you now.
Because I figure if we can like dodge into an alleyway really quickly and like
Yeah.
make that group stealth, then maybe we can just like really quickly tell them, hey, like maybe like here's the inn we're staying at. We've got an appointment tomorrow for all that stuff. Like giving them what our plan is, and like it might be helpful if you guys are around for that. Like being around the palace when we're supposed to like show up for whatever appointment, but then like not suddenly introducing. Oh, and we have all these other colleagues who suddenly came later. Like that would be weird. So
that's
that, like,
more-
if you guys could contrive to be nearby but not look like you're with us.
Yeah.
We have Doris.
We appreciate that she said contrived.
That was a good word.
That's a good word.
Good word.
Thank you.
Megan is good at using
I was gonna say,
wonderful
she
words.
is like an English.
Yeah, I would hope
guru.
so.
Yeah, I'm like, that's the.
Otherwise, that was my education for it.
Yeah.
Obviously, to sound cool in regular
Sorry, that was a bad joke.
What else?
In which case, yes, Tuli and Bob, though, how would you describe to the rest of the party what you found? Because, yeah, these are good plans of like, ooh, but what information are you telling the party right now?
So we know the sword.
Oh, so we'd tell them everything we overheard from the conversation last night, and then we'd also.
That was the distinction.
So let's sum up really quick. We know the Pharaoh has a sword piece. He's used
And
it.
apparently some sort of god or patron with a different power that the priests don't recognize.
The priests don't like. Yeah, it's a sword piece. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Pharaoh has it.
Because they were saying.
Stone piece, sword piece, mirror. Again,
Is it the same?
name is interchangeable right now.
And then we know that.
Oh,
his
we'll fill you guys
family-
in a little bit on this dude's.
Yeah, his family's all are both slaves.
Yeah.
So we could try
If you
to
want
free
to
them.
keep a lookout for Muriel, and then I'd just give you a description of her.
Oh, this is gonna end so badly.
It's gonna end really badly.
Okay, but the Pharaoh.
We're
makes
a
your
level
cards,
3
right?
party. If we try to free the slaves, we're all gonna die.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was clarified
Should
on my
we
brain.
also let them know about the priests that we saw?
Yeah, so we can tell them everything we overheard about,
So now you know those two specific priests are involved.
Yep, it's like, oh, those two. This is
well, but it's
not
more
good.
that, like,
Yeah.
nah, Pharaoh came out with some random magical powers and claiming
So-
his deity, and now the priests are all in kind of bad grace of they have lost a lot of
Was
power.
Wait, what is the
Nine
pharaoh's
eight.
name? Is it your brother Ramesses?
Adopted brother?
But I thought you said he died.
I thought he did.
So is it Pharaoh Ramesses or a different pharaoh?
I don't think we
Easy enough. It's everyone says the Pharaoh Ramses.
Okay.
Apparently he's alive.
Is your brother alive or
Not the
undead?
firstborn?
Was that?
Was he not the firstborn child?
Well, he wasn't a child anymore, so he lost his firstborn child.
Okay.
It's
Oh, but we assumed he died.
firstborn
in the Red Sea.
child. So if you were firstborn under the age of 18 is more that parameter of.
Okay.
Because you could be the firstborn, but if you were already like an adult with families and stuff, it was that like that's how the
It was only
plague
children.
worked
Yep.
in a very dark mechanical sense.
Okay. Gotta love how the Lord works.
So yeah, as far as I know.
I mean, I have always wondered about it because I don't think we explicitly get like that age limit in the Bible. I
That-
know in like Charlton Heston's 10 Commandments, there were adults who were worried about it.
That's
Yeah.
I
where,
really wonder if
for
maybe
the
it
purposes
has
of
to do with something like
Dreamworks,
the
that
age
is
of
the dark
baptism.
reality of
Like,
they
is it
had
the
to
age of
be.
innocence?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is they
Yeah.
anything if they were not an
I don't know, I
adult
feel like it-
but
as
still
widespread as it was,
firstborn
you'd have to
son.
They would have to include more than A.
Okay. Anyways,
Because it never said like children, it just said firstborn
we're
sons.
getting off now.
Yeah, yeah, no.
We
it's-
assumed he died in the Red Sea with the party in the Red Sea.
I
Is
probably
that what
have
I'm
to look at
saying?
like
So
what
now
the
like
original and the
technically
translations
alive.
and everything. I have no clue.
And that's even assuming they and like
So yeah,
wrote
so
it
we'll
down
have to see
correctly.
what these two are able to find out in the palace.
As you guys are here in this alleyway, I have made a couple rolls. As a party, could you go ahead and give me some quick perception checks?
Perception.
I did not have a love rest. I am a very cranky old woman.
Very cranky.
Wait, was that everybody? Perception?
Oh, perceive the baby.
15.
15, 10.
21.
21.
This is perception.
Perception, correct. That will make the highest right now is Tulia Elizabeth 21. Tulio, what I will say is this. You will notice as you're all kind of just ducked in here, you're all kind of talking this through. Tulio, you catch with your eye the kind of receptionist from the observatory who is out in the street looking around.
Yeah, we got a div.
We'll pretend we have never seen you before.
Can we just like pick a quick hide?
You just want to hide away?
Well, cause
Does it seem like she's looking like for us, like frantically, or like?
It's just more like looking around the street for something, like whether that's you guys or another person. It's that like, okay, they're no longer at the observatory and seem to be just like looking around.
Well, because we had like just left, right?
Yeah, about a half hour ago.
So it wouldn't make sense for us to be awkwardly hanging out in an alleyway.
Yeah.
So I would like
That
to
is
just not
fair.
be in sight
Yeah.
in case of a catch.
Make me a stealth check. Yeah.
Thank you,
Good,
thank
girl?
you. I am sneeze. Give me roar.
It's 23.
23,
15.
15. Can the rest of the party make a stealth check then?
Oh shoot. Wait, I'm not wearing armor. I don't have disadvantage on stealth.
It's true.
I mean, I wasn't thinking that the whole party had to hide. More like the two of us dipping and hiding.
But you were all
As-
together.
I got a 19.
19. It's a stealth check. Most 11.
What are we hiding from?
The person we talked to at the observatory, so we're not all sleep together.
Oh, that's a
2 11s and 2 15s. Not
That 7 is
beating.
Go to 15.
The receptionist did have a 16 with DC as they were looking. We'll be able to spot Bob and a couple of you. 2 of you are hidden, of course. Same with Nana.
Am I cutting words?
It's already been too late though for cutting words. Yeah, this was a check they made when they first left the observatory, and it's not like I've set the DC. Now I just have to
no
walk
worries.
around.
Yeah.
The receptionist kind of spots you all. Excuse me, are you with the Ochre Observatory? Yes, we spoke, kind of catching Bob but not understanding who some of you guys are. Are you the astronomists that were sent from the Ochre Observatory?
Well, so don't look at me. Apparently the two of us are hidden, but the rest of you guys got seen.
Yeah, so like,
They were just asking us for directions. I was explaining that we aren't from here either, so.
well, yes, but do you know where your friend went? We did have some information at the observatory if you were interested. Some recordings that were written.
Yeah, could I go grab her and then we can meet you at the
Yes, of course. We just didn't want you to get too far and wait a whole day. I hoped you were nearby.
Yes, I'll go grab him and we'll be right there.
Thank you so much. Have a pleasant day, Tomato. I didn't catch your name earlier.
Yes, Bob.
Bob. Yeah, thank
Master
you.
Bob. Yeah.
Thank you. She gives you just kind of that cordial bow. Just that thank you. She turns, walks away back off to the observatory.
Oh good, my plan was to fake a heart attack.
Man, it just suddenly.
Instead falls over backwards.
I mean, that's a heck of a distraction.
Right.
Are we going
Okay,
to the
so
observatory?
let's, head to the
Head back?
observatory.
All right. All of you then.
We can always, like, tell them where the inn was and, like, meet up with them later after we've got more info.
Or they could like
Yeah,
hang
it's
out
like.
at the like observatory separately. That way,
Yeah.
if something does happen, they can jump in.
Yeah.
So.
Whatever seems best to
You
everybody.
two head back to the observatory. Filling in, of course, the party where we stayed the previous night, like some quick plans of meeting back. As you approach, you see the receptionist is standing outside, just kind of looking around, spots you two. Yes, please, we did have some writings. I was unaware, of course, that there was recorded information about the meteorological event. If you'd like to take a look, of course. And she invites you guys in. You see, she walks in and just starts walking up this kind of like half-wind staircase up to a second floor. Upon leading you guys up, passing through a doorway, you are surrounded by 15 guards and a person who is standing there in full guard uniform. The receptionist turns, I'm so sorry. We were informed anyone who came asking about the meteor is to be taken and questioned about their origin and what their interest is.
I thought we explained what our origin and interest was.
Yes, but the Pharaoh would like to know that as well.
It's fair enough. That's what we got.
Yes, I think I'm beginning to see what his interest in the scientific community here is.
The receptionist doesn't meet your eye, but kind of like nods. The guards are going to lead you guys back outside. Moses, Hunk, Nana, Elizabeth, you see your two party members being escorted by the guards off towards the palace.
Well, they wanted to meet with the Pharaoh anyway. Who feels like a tour of the palace?
I don't know. I'm wondering if we should let Moses get caught.
I mean, it would take some heat off us. Like, the number one most wanted man in the country walks into the
Excellent point. How sacrificial do you feel today?
No, I mean, there's some things we have to consider.
Yeah,
Would
heck
he
of
be
a distraction.
immediately killed because he's a wanted man, or would we all be able to be captured with him and then go see Pharaoh?
I mean, I think passive knowledge, it's very much if someone gets, like, that high priority and you capture them alive, they're not gonna just immediately kill them. It would take a lot for a guard. Again, think real
What
life.
if we turn him in? Then Pharaoh might want to meet with us specifically to thank us.
Well, I was thinking the palace probably has some like hidden passageways we can sneak into, which as rambunctious of a youth as Moses was, you
probably
can't tell
would
me
know
he
them.
didn't find.
Oh yeah, I was prepped for this. If you want to, Moses, for the four of you, if you want to make there'll be an investigation check as a group to be like, let's go sneak it.
Before anyone rolls anything, I just want to throw my 2 cents in there. A, that is smart, but it might also be August baiting you into it, because he can't tell me Ramses doesn't know about all his passages with you, and if you were sighted
never
in the
know.
area, he might be expecting you.
I would say Moses hasn't been
Like,
sighted.
Okay.
Moses has had a nat 20 this whole time.
Well, but I was thinking, because just in that village in Naten or whatever it was called that we were just at.
But how fast has?
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
Or if this party was,
Returned.
this group was off doing other stuff.
It's
up to you,
And
Moses.
honestly, if he gets caught, it's gonna be the same thing either way.
That's fair.
Yeah.
We'll all get to the same
That's
place
what I'll say.
eventually.
For Tulio and Bob, you don't really have a choice. You are
Yeah,
going to be
we're-
escorted in. It's for our other half of the party. Do you want to make investigation? It's that, like, Moses, you kind of auto-pass the stealth check. It's more that, like, can we find a good passage in, like, any of the, like... Because, again, what has changed, especially since you were a kid, and, of course, since Egypt got consolidated?
Yeah.
Versus also, if you guys have any other things you want to, like, try to do or get on the way. Because you could just be like, let's see what happens to our friends and hope for the best. I mean, that sounds really dark, but it's that, like, let's just wait at the inn like they told us to.
We're totally not waiting at the end like I told us to.
No.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
That's what we're hard cut.
No, it's fine.
No, I'll be
I'm
hard
so
cut.
like,
Hard cut. Tulio and Bob, they'll wait for the inn like we told them to. We're not gonna wait. All right, for the party then. Can the party, if you're going to sneak in, make a group investigation check to find some of the better passages you want to
My
go?
-1, I get a 19 because that was a nat 20.
I got it.
Nat 20.
It was.
Mine was so close to
Say
net
we
20
just
with
kind of go with
Is
it.
that the worst?
So
I don't
we've
think we have
got
good odds right now.
Punk's got a nat 20. Unfortunately for the rest, probably with the 8. Moses, it's very much that, like, okay, a lot of these better passageways, none of us are small enough for, because again, these were more for like 12 to 14-year-old boys. Maybe we could try other ways. Eventually, though, Hunk is going to help find you a way, kind of side palace. It's going to get you far enough in, like, again, auto passing a lot of the natural, like any guard checks or anything, because again, Moses, you know that. You're gonna just be a little bit outside what you know to be the throne room. There will be at least another set of like a true stealth if you guys want to get like to the throne room. Right now you're still inside the palace central, where you could start looking around here, or push in, stay here, go back. You're in a good middle point, if that makes sense for you guys.
I'd almost say kind of chill out in here for a minute. Kind of maybe look around the palace, see what we can find, rather than just barging right into the throne room.
Do we want to at least get to where the throne room is, so that we're ready to barge in if needed?
That would be, instead of looking around, it's like, let's just wait and make a group stealth to stay here. Like, you know, we're at a good point where if we just kind of wait and listen, if that makes sense.
As far as we know, they're gonna ask them questions, then let them go. We don't want to like make a huge scene, especially if
Yeah, that's true. But I'd also prefer to be close enough to know if we need to be back up. Because if things start going south in the throne room, they're going to be executed there, right there and then. If we're not close to the throne room, we're not going to even know. That's my only concern.
I don't care what you guys want to do.
See how much she values our lives.
They'll be fine.
I would would say let's stay here. If we hear things start going badly, like as soon as it seems to take a turn.
Are we close enough to hear?
Oh yeah, no, that's you. I got a good nat 20. No, it's not like it would have been like you guys. Do we want to maybe just explore the palace? Do we want to like sneak into the throne room, or do we want to head back and try a different way?
No,
This
I'm
would
happy
be.
being like right next
It's
to the throne room.
go ahead. I will need a group stealth check. I'll let you know. It's actually a very low DC. You're in a good spot already. We just don't want a bunch of nat ones, so to speak. I say that.
Oh wait,
I want to put my armor back on, so I need to do it at disadvantage.
Do you need to do it?
You felt like the digital dice was totally cocked.
4, 11.
Dang, I got a 16 at disadvantage.
16 disadvantage. And Elizabeth, go ahead and make me your stealth check as well.
I did.
11. Why'd I miss that? Hunk, I need a stealth check from you. That's, sorry, my bad. Already looking pretty good.
Did you get
No.
No.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Anybody have
I don't have
Your
inspiration.
I do.
Bard and the guy, you have point of inspiration?
Oh my gosh.
Use it.
Stealth again.
Yep.
Use it on Hunk.
Thank
Here we go.
Still not great, sir.
But it's not that one?
Still not a nat one. That is still going to give you the majority you need. If it was a nat one, I would let you know something terrible was going to happen. But that will give it, you guys can sit and wait and listen.
Excellent.
Approaching into the throne room, Bob and Tulio. There are golden ornamental rams, eagles, and ibis that adorn the upper balustrades. Grand columns carved of the finest sandstone, sanded and lacquered to shine even in the cool afternoon sun. Inside, you feel that immediate temperature shift of the shade, bringing in a rather sweet smell off of the kitchens and other cooking here. Sitting atop a grand stone pedestal leading up a few steps, throne coated in onyx and gold, is a man, full shaved head, with full pharaoh headdress and chin. In one hand is the hook, and in one hand is the flail, or the crook, I should say. As sitting here, bare-chested, if not for the warrior's kilt worn, watches you both approach with very cold yet amused eyes. As this guard captain steps forward, you speaks, "Pharaoh, your excellency, and God upon the Nile. We found these two astronomers at the observatory claiming to have come from the Ochre Observatory. They were asking, of course, about the meteor, and given your direct decree, we have brought them here. They do have," and you see he pulls out, again, thanks to some of that early checks, "the paperwork. We have brought them for your interrogation." You see the guard sets the paper on a stone pedestal below the throne. The pharaoh slowly lowers the crook, opens his hand, and the paper shoots into it. Opens up the paper, and he is going to make a check of his own.
I wish we'd set a higher DC.
Putting words in?
You can.
Why would you want to put words in?
Well, because we want him to roll low so he doesn't realize it's fake.
Oh, okay, sorry.
That is,
Putting words in.
go for it. I will let you know that's a 13 plus 5 to make 18. You're going to need a 4 or higher.
Oh, we did this roll the 6 last time.
You can do it.
Oh.
A 1.
Oh, no.
You hate to see it,
You hate to see it.
Bob.
We were so close.
As a 17 becomes 16. The pharaoh reads this paper, kind of crushes it with his hand and throws it to the side. Tell me, astronomers, what interest have you in the meteor?
Well, it was a pretty massive astronomical event, right? I mean, the moon turned all bloody. This happened across the world, different meteors falling at the same time. This just happened to be the closest one for us to examine.
In the Ochre Observatory. So you've traveled across the entire continent of Africa, through the harsh Sahara Desert, all to find us on the Nile.
Yeah, that was a surprise for us, but we made it here.
Why did you not seek out any of the other meteor pieces?
Wasn't this
This was the closest one to where we were at.
A likely story.
Do we remember where the others fell?
Yeah, that was the only one that we could see, right?
Yeah, that's I think we can even put on.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ochre Observatory is here on the maps. This was the star piece. The others fell too far away in different countries.
Looking at you, you see the Pharaoh says, "What are your names?"
You can call me Bob. I guess officially it'd probably be Robert, but most people call me Bob.
I would say it probably
I'm worried that he's asking our names, and this might be too paranoid, but I'm gonna tell him my name's Miguel and see if I can get away with the deception.
Make me a deception check.
I think it's all the fairy tales about never telling your true name or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah. I just know. I can't remember if we told him your name, but I've told the other person my name twice.
Yeah,
so I
that's
figured
true.
changing it at this point.
Oh, no, that's a good point. Since I haven't made the check yet, can I...
I'll allow it.
Okay, fine. So I will give him Julio just because Bob pointed that out. We did tell the lady at the observatory here our actual names.
Well, Bob and Tulio. I don't love strangers in my city. They bring pain, pestilence, and plagues. Tell me, you say you come just for the meteor piece. Surely you cannot be serious.
We weren't even coming for the meteor piece. We were just coming
Of
to
course,
stop
you
them.
just came to our city for a singular piece across thousands of miles. Tell me your true intentions in my city, or I will find out your intentions for myself.
We really were looking for the only meteor piece that was accessible to us. And that's
Why?
completely true.
We're scientists. That's what we
Lies.
do.
You are no more scientists than the river is shit. And seeing as how you are so full of shit, maybe you'll explain to me why you're here.
I'm gonna try to be like, oh, you got us. We're like amateur scientists. We're just really, really interested in this. This is all we had. We were just so desperate to find out about this. We
Can I
tried
help her with
to
a performance check?
You can give a You're gonna give me a performance check, Bob. If you can get high enough, I will allow Tulio to make a check.
Oh, I see. So he makes performance, she makes deception. Okay.
Exactly. If Bob can perform, kind of that ham it up, haha, get it? 24. All right.
Yes.
You're gonna make me a deception check. This is a DC 20.
Okay.
Can she
Can I guidance myself?
You can guidance yourself.
Oh, hell yeah.
23.
27 with guidance.
Yes! You guys.
The part in the road, guys.
And that is how.
You got us.
You got
You guys, we're just amateurs.
This is
You
amazing.
see, leans down as you give him this story. I see. Simple, foolish, and young astronomers not knowing the dangerous games they play.
Exactly.
Dangerous?
Very well. Unfortunately, then, it is my duty to tutor you. play dangerous games, you have dangerous outcomes. Tell me, Bob and Tulia, which one of you gets to walk out of this room alive?
Oh my gosh!
Guys, I think it's go time.
Well,
Well, I think she'd be the one to walk. I'd kind of bounce
I
out.
was about to say, I think only I am capable of walking.
Good roll though.
I can definitely carry him.
Then the choice has been made.
Oh.
You watch as
gosh.
he reaches. Okay.
As I say that, and as I see him do that, can I cast?
Yep.
What's it called? What's it called?
Also, is Bob still on my shoulder? Because I would like to try something as well.
Yeah, Bob's on your shoulder.
Okay, you can try your thing. I'm gonna look up the name of the spell.
Yeah, you get it. It's not like
Let
go,
me
go,
double check
go,
the
scroll,
range
scroll,
I have
scroll.
for this.
I hear you. Give me a sec.
Do we really want to go in? Oh my gosh.
Including Pharaoh, how many people are within 5 feet of us?
Just Pharaoh. And Pharaoh's actually more like 15 feet, you know, because he's up on his throne right now.
Well, because I was gonna try and like face step away, but it also would have been helpful if he was in 5 feet to try and get him frightened off and like give him
Oh
disadvantage.
yeah,
on
Pharaoh
trying to kill
hasn't
us.
moved from his throne.
So I might not do that then. It might be whatever Bob's planning.
I'm gonna cast Sanctuary on myself.
Oh,
that's a good spell.
You ward a creature, myself, within range against attack. Until the spell ends, any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack or a harmful spell must first make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature must choose a new target or lose the attack or spell. This spell doesn't protect the warded creature from area effects such as the explosion of a fireball.
Hang on.
Okay.
So are you telling me that like neither Pharaoh nor any of the guards are like close enough that like
The guards have moved back to like the sides. Like it's that they escort you in and are just waiting politely.
How far are we from like doors?
Doors about 60 feet back behind you. There are open columns just to like probably like more inner parts, you know, like what Moses would know, like the
Because
family
if no
rooms.
one's like right next to us and Bob's on my shoulder, I might just like make a run for it.
Yeah, go make a run for it.
I don't like
that
you're
look.
giving me.
You cast Sanctuary. Pharaoh's gonna counterspell.
Oh, frick. Oh, frick.
You watch as he has dropped the flail. His left hand has come up, and you feel the spell get pinholed out of you and ripped away.
Ouch.
You dare cast a spell in my throne room, you vile, rotten vegetable. As his right hand has finished closing around in the air and pulling as if from an invisible scabbard, an obsidian
Called it.
black
It was a pack
khopesh
blade.
That is-
He's a warlock.
with an inlaid metallic piece along the edge.
You did push the star piece into his packed blade. That's crazy.
As
Some big stuff,
he
I'm sure.
slowly stands up from his throne room, or from his throne. Yeah, Moses?
As he begins to stand up, I cast light on the head of my staff. Ramesses, let them go!
Bursting in. Ramses,
Fantastic
half
timing,
risen
guys.
from his throne, sees you. Moses. Come in.
Oh.
Walk in closer.
That was
to
the
throne
scariest
room.
reaction he could have given.
Yes,
Yo.
it was.
Moses, as you walk in, clunk, 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 sandal on stone echoes. No one breathes, no one moves. Pharaoh sits back.
I whispered to Bob on my shoulder, I think he definitely hates him more than us.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So you have sullied my city once more with your presence.
You do that enough with your wickedness.
And I suppose I am to repent, am I? Thus saith the Lord, I am wicked, you are good, and therefore, due to my wickedness, you can take the lives of over 5,000 children. There's only one monster in this room, Moses, and he stands before me.
I never wanted any of that, Ramses.
But you sought it. Know this, Moses. I no longer fear you. And you watch, he takes his kopish, drops it, and it sticks a couple inches into the stone by his throne.
That's the thing.
I once feared you. Or more accurately, your God. He stands up and you watch he takes off his headdress. This God who brought plagues, mocking our gods. The Nile became blood, insects bit our eyes and ears, cattle fell dead, darkness and lightning plagued our minds. And I feared you. He takes off the chin piece, and at this point he is completely stood up on the throne and begins walking down. But no more. I once called you brother, but now I have a God of my own, and he is superior. As he comes, he stands inches from you. I don't care your relation to the two false astronomers here, but I give you this. Strike me down, and I'll let all of you go. Do it. Strike him down.
You're full Palpatine over here. The literal devil on my shoulder.
Oh, no.
Yes! He's even red!
Come to the dark side. Strike me down. I have a question. What was the star on again?
The piece is on his kopesh. It like the kopesh has that curved C on it, and on the arch there is a piece of another blade that
Is he
seems.
still holding on to it?
Nope, sitting by his throne.
Yep.
How far is his throne from where we are?
From where you guys, about 60 feet. You guys are that like outside the door. You have to get all the way
It's
in.
an action to summon a packed weapon, if I
That's
remember
true.
playing Warlock correctly. So we can do it, but yeah, could we sneak in and take that?
If
I feel like it's less-
whoever wants to go try to get it, make
awkwardly
me
filing
and.
in after Moses.
Yeah, walking on in. Hi, we're with Moses. Go ahead. The three. So Elizabeth,
I'm
Nana,
not
Hunk.
putting
If you
anyone else
guys.
into this.
Oh,
I-
just
I
Elizabeth.
don't know. And do you guys want to try?
It's-
I
if
think
you
it's
want
an
to.
opportunity that I don't want to like.
It's that. Yeah, if the sword's just on the throne.
I'm gonna do it. Do you guys want to do it with me?
I will have disadvantage on stealth, so
Because
I am
Nana's
not.
in full armor. So
But I could
Elizabeth's.
stealth.
Yeah, so Hunk and Elizabeth, if you guys want to
As
try to
always,
sneak
I'm
in.
worried we're being baited into it. Seems
Right,
very
so
easy,
you
but
It's a
we
21.
gotta spring the trap to figure out
Hunk
what's gonna happen.
9. Hunk, you will be seen first by the guards, let alone Pharaoh. Elizabeth, you start stealthing your way up to the throne room. Moses, you can feel the hot breath of Pharaoh on your face. That slight scent of cinnamon and rice of something he's eaten as Ramses looks you in the eye. Strike me down. Hit me. Take back your people.
Close my eyes. In rage.
Let's go ahead. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Come on. You have one
That's
job.
what I'm talking about.
That's
Here we go.
Sorry, I'm
Uh,
still trying to roll.
Elizabeth with a 7, Moses with an 11, Bob with an 8, Tumir with an 11. That's going to put you just before Moses. Hunk with a 3.
I'm
and
so sorry,
Nana-
the app is really struggling.
You're good. Yeah, sometimes it's just
That's
a little
an
slow.
8.
Here we go.
Pharaoh's going to roll his initiative. I will let you know, not a single guard is rolling initiative. They are choosing to watch.
Don't like that.
Right?
Here we go.
I really don't like that.
This just might be a
That is a
okay.
15 plus 5 for a synthetic 20. Pharaoh is going to act first.
Why does he have a +5 to frickin' Dex?
Moses. Pharaoh is going to attack you. Plus 12. Does a 30 synthetically hit.
Yes, it does.
I'm sorry, he has a +18.
Moses, you are raging, correct?
Yes.
So, with his unarmed strike, he is going to deal
No.
12d20 for 138 points of damage. As, looking you in the eye, weak, he grabs your neck. Your neck snaps, and you all watch Moses' head dangles dangerously outside. You are full dead.
Not down, full dead.
Full dead.
What did he do?
He punched Moses through the face.
That was an unarmed
So
strike.
double damage?
No, he did 130 something.
138 with his bare hand.
No, that's what I meant though. Double
Punches
damage
you through the
as opposed to,
face.
Like magical, you're dead.
As he holds your body up. Moses, as he laughs. That is going to be next up in the initiative order. Tulio, you're up next.
Yeah.
No,
We
he's a
could
cleric.
revivify that.
Tulio, what do you want to do?
So, can I, like, stealth? Because Battle was
Go for it.
presumably taking more attention than I am.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, that's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 does not pass the Pharaoh's passive as you go to hide and immediately...
Can I bonus action hide action guidance myself?
Yes, you can.
23?
Barely misses.
What?
24. Sees you.
Gosh.
I want you to watch. Legendary action, end of your turn. Cast Resurrection on you, brings you back.
Oh my gosh.
You
You
watch.
told me you were gonna do this and I thought you were joking.
Oh my
I
gosh.
want you to watch, Moses. As that's your turn, Moses. What do you want to do?
So am I at full hit points?
You are full back. He brought you completely back.
Oh
It kind of scares me that he can just do that.
gosh.
How many other
He's
spells
making a warlock. What the crap?
is he a warlock?
Okay, I'm gonna
We
try
were
smacking him with the
so
staff.
Go for it.
Why did we decide to take on the Pharaoh? Why did we do this?
Well, because the startup was our
That is
to,
an
like,
8.
lead on the bigger
Yeah,
plot.
it's not gonna do.
You smack him across the head. He doesn't flinch.
Ruh-roh.
I feel like you're bullying this party. The other groups have gotten easier objectives.
Moses, at the end of your turn, Pharaoh's going to take a legendary action.
Yeah, uh-huh.
How many does he have?
He is going to take his legendary action. He is going to roll. This is a 1d20 plus 12 to hit.
Crap.
Does a synthetic 22 hit?
Yeah.
He's going to roll. That is 12d20 bludgeoning damage. 93 points of damage. Your neck snaps again.
Right?
No, because he died. Rage stops. Moses, full dead again.
Yep.
As
Oh my.
But you watch as he snaps, the rest of you, he once again places his hand and starts lifting Moses' head back up.
Oh my.
How many times is he gonna do this to you?
A lot, apparently.
August literally told me he was gonna do this, and I thought he was joking.
Here we go. Moses, that was your turn. That brings us back to that is Bob the Tomato's turn.
Yeah. Do you think you can break grapple? Is he grappling?
He's not grappling. He is just breaking his neck and holding the body up.
You know the problem is I don't think we can run.
Yeah, I think we would be stuck.
Is there like a guard that looks like they're like the head of the guard?
Yeah, there is like a head guard, like one of these like Legion captains kind of here, right?
Can I cast a Crown of Madness on him?
You're all out. Go ahead. He's gonna make.
Wisdom save.
Actually, no. Pharaoh's gonna counterspell you.
Fair enough.
I will let you know what happens. Moses. 23 times. Pharaoh breaks your neck.
Is initiative still
And brings you
happening while
back.
this is happening? Because there was one more thing I wanted to try.
Initiative is happening,
I know, I've got stuff I was going to
but he is just going to keep breaking your neck and bringing you back over and over and over.
He is.
That's part of what I want
longer-
to do on my next turn.
I will give everyone. We'll finish off this current initiative, but Moses, know that this is his goal right now. Nana, what would you like to try to do? Elizabeth, you're on deck with Hunk.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know. I think Nana is just so painfully aware of the fact that we are at the Pharaoh's mercy and he doesn't seem to have any. I think I'm just going to slowly approach, like put my weapon away and just slowly approach with my hands up.
Elizabeth, something you want to try?
I'm going to try to stealth my way to the...
Go for it.
thing.
I will try to draw his attention as much as I can, other than the fact that
Make
he's
that stealth check. Go for the coat.
destroying Moses.
13. Pharaoh watches as breaks the neck again, looks over. Take my weapon. I'll just summon it right back. Revivifies it.
I'm still going to try. I might as well.
Yeah?
He's not hurting me.
Yeah. I'll let you know, Elizabeth. You walk up, take the Kopesh as he just keeps breaking Moses' head.
Can I see a way to like block off?
I will say, make me a Arcana check. You think if you had enough time and like a forgery, a blacksmith, you might be able to eventually get this off?
Wait, you said it's obsidian?
Yeah.
Dude, I am proficient stone. Oh my gosh, I need to get to the coat.
This is the like.
Can I pull it out of the ground? So I'm going to take it and try to stealth my way back to Nick.
The second you stop, he's gonna break Moses' neck, drop Moses, and turn to you. Give me my weapon.
I was a dragon. Did you know that?
Elizabeth, Hunk, anything you want to try while all this happened?
Elizabeth, is that what you said, or did you say Nana?
For Hunk.
Oh, okay.
Well, because we're going through the initiative.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, maybe so. What should I do? Pew him? Whatever you want to do.
As gross as it is, this is actually nice because it's giving the majority of a party
Oh, that's the
like
wrong
3
thing.
rounds to figure
I hit the
something
wrong button.
out.
Ignore that.
It's
Sorry.
giving us time to think of a way out.
Does an 18 hit him?
And 18 does not hit his
Even
armor.
better.
Good for him, but
It's
Alright.
like when you were made of stone.
Hunk, you start shooting into him, Bob casting a spell. Pharaoh will begin the initiative by walking over to Elizabeth. Give
It's a
me
really
my
pretty
sword.
weapon.
He's just gonna slowly reach out and take it from your hands.
I don't want to make him angry.
He takes it
Oh my gosh.
and put it away into his little pocket dimension. Guards. Snaps his fingers. You watch thousands of guards start swarming into the room belonging. Take the prisoners down to our special dungeon. As walking over kneels next to you, Moses, with one last revivify, brings you up at 1. Your God is weak, just like you. that's where we're going to end tonight's session. Thank you all so much for playing.
I wanted
Thank you
my
for listening.
turn.
I will see you all next time.
Oh my gosh.